Welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus. This Dungeons & Dragons podcast may contain fantasy violence, language, and most likely a mimic or two. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's buckle up and open a back window, because it's time to start the adventure. You look like the evil Kermit. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's episode of the Wild Magic School Bus podcast. I, of course, am your host, Calvin Piper. Let's go around and introduce everybody, starting with Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz, and I am playing Ohiana, the 21-year-old tiefling bard.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Preston, and I'm playing Lucius Kane, the warlock that is happy to be here.
Yes, hello, I am Will, and I play Glyph Kazidi, and I also am very happy to be here, and I believe I'm roughly like 4 or 5 years old. The lizards age way differently than all of the other races, or a lot of the other races, so I think like I've only hatched like 4 years ago, so.
I'm Michelle Paper, I play Kenneth Quinn. Honestly, I had heart palpitations. I forgot we were doing this right now. I'm a Cuban Ranger.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I'm Drew, and I also had heart palpitations, but that's because I'm 42 years old and smoke cigars.
You look so cool.
I play what's his name? Zeph?
Zeph.
The Draconian. And yeah, that's awesome. I think we are something like 4 years old.
Yep, about that, roughly.
Mm-hmm. Now, as you can all see, listeners, that we are short 2 people tonight. First one being Will Moon, as unfortunately he is a college student, so he's more of an infrequent character, but don't worry, I'm sure we'll see more of Aomore in the weeks to come. And also our other young monk, TBD, Matt Yang. He took the evening off, but he'll be back, so Matt, just make sure to throw some improv in, and we'll just kind of impose that in as we go through tonight. But
at the risk of giving myself negative inspiration, the first thing you said was, as you can see, listeners. So
it was 100% intentional, but I appreciate your honesty.
I like that. That was good, Calvin. So with Matt, how are we gonna address that? Should we just
I'll say we eat him.
Periodically, we should just react to something that hasn't happened, and then the onus is on him to figure out.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll have Matt come over an hour early next week and just record sound bits, and then we'll just.
I think we're gonna have discussions in game, right? And then really you're just gonna record him saying, "Yeah, okay."
Yes, all of those.
Let's just treat him like Link. We'll just make him make sounds, not words.
He's Asian. He can do the just throw those in your periodic.
Wow.
Cancel on
This is a really good opportunity for us to start rolling out catchphrases for our characters.
Catchphrases?
Yeah. This is not a good time to roll out catchphrases. But it is a good time to wrap all this up, because I have no announcements and no sponsors, and let's get into episode 2 of Campaign 3, because it doesn't have a title yet. Roll credits! So, last time we were here, fate intertwined the paths of several individuals in the port city known as Copper Cove. The draconic soldiers who guarded a door suddenly thrown into a chaotic battle. The traveling circus pulled from their mediocre shopping spree into the fight of their lives. A ranger, a wandering blood hunter, and a young imprisoned monk, all seemingly crossing paths in one moment. A ship exploded on the dock, causing chaos and carnage. Automatons and bandits spilling out of it. A fight ensued. Most of you did well, vanquishing most of the entities, others escaping with their lives. Before much could be done or escapes could be made, you were all corralled and cornered by the Portmaster. Portmaster Demir, who deputized all of you into helping them figure out who did it and why, and offering a sum of money to anyone who was willing to provide that information. After giving you this offer, she kicked you out into the open street, where the chaos of the events of that day are still slowly dying down, and that is where we pick up this evening. All of you, standing out in the middle of the dock, watch as there are still probably a good 24 soldiers kind of milling about this large ship that is still burning, still on fire. There appears to be, as they're talking, you hear the sound, these low rumbles, as 2 or 3 large, almost like round metal vehicles, I guess, descend from the low atmosphere into the dock themselves, kind of floating at different areas in front of this airship. You watch as dropping down from them, there are humanoids, but dressed in large exoskeletons of metal as they land and begin to start, looks like they're throwing water or like channeling water onto the ship, beginning to extinguish it. Anyone who's from the Brasslands would know these to be the Fire Brigade, which basically are humans with super cool exosuits, and essentially enhanced mech abilities to kind of take care of, burning buildings or natural disasters. They are the first responders, and they seem to have shown up just now to take care of a large burning ship. As this is going on, Kenneth.
Yep. Yep.
As the crowd is beginning to kind of gather on the edges of this, the soldiers kind of pushing everybody away, you all are still kind of standing in the middle of the street, not really doing much, and you hear the steady and rhythmic footsteps kind of stop behind you, and the familiar voice of Uncle Orwell. What seems to be going on?
Well,
the rest of you hear this too. You can all turn around. Those of you who don't know, you see a man standing, almost 6 foot tall, short gray hair, kind of tied into a small ponytail that hangs just off the back of the head, dressed in fine, kind of like well worn but well maintained leather armor, a longbow slung across their back, and a small sword attached to their hip. They seem to have a couple of small chains hanging across just behind the leather chest plate, with what looks to be a couple of small teeth or talons kind of like dangling across it. The sternness of this man is belied by a kindness that he graces upon Kenneth at this moment, as I mistakenly insert a Critical Role name right in there. Kenneth, because I'm going to screw that up now. But all of you see this man standing there, and Kenneth immediately recognizes them and begins to talk to him.
well, here's the thing. I may have goofed a little bit. I don't have food like I promised I was going to go get. I gave it to a little starving kid, so we don't really have much of nothing to eat. But I think I may have goofed bigger than that, maybe. Well, you see, the ship was going, and seemed like people were trying to fight us, and so I fought back because I was a little scared. I just wanted to try to find you, but I couldn't get away in time. Anyways, it was a whole thing, but I think it was just, I may use magic. I don't. Anyway, so they came back, and we may or may not be charged with trying to find these people who set the ship on fire and did all that business. But it does pay. It pays pretty well, 50 gold. So
money is good.
Yeah.
Seems like
I goofed. I know. Yeah.
a bit of a pickle, as it were.
Yep.
Is that what the rest of this entourage is surrounding you for?
Yeah, I think that's why they're here. Yep.
Right.
Hold on. Hello, yes, name's Cliff, and you may be...
I go by Orwell Quinn. I am the protector and guardian of this young ranger here.
Oh, right. Well, I'd say we might have a bit in common. I feel like that's kind of part of what we're supposed to do at this point.
Regards.
Yeah, we're good at that. Sometimes we investigate, but usually it's just guarding. Mostly.
Speaking of that, we should get back to the door.
No, I think we've been cleared, I believe. She said she'd talk to Scratch and kind of relieve us of that.
All right, but we should maybe check with Scratch.
I mean, we could holler at him if we wanted to.
Can you
Yeah, I
call him real quick?
I can send him a message. I'll do that in a moment. But yeah, we're kind of like a right claw, left claw situation because you're her protector, and we're kind of inadvertently tasked with protecting her as well. So good to make your acquaintance. We also use magic, so if you're mad at her, you're mad at us as well.
Not bad. As he goes and shakes your hand, go and make a strength check for me.
I appreciate that. I'm super strong. That's going to be a 15.
16. Clasps your hand, and you're like, oh, like you immediately feel the strength underneath him. He's not a big man. He's not a big man by any means, but he is strong. You can feel the strength in his
sinewy,
hand.
as they would say.
Excuse me, but I'm gonna go guard the door until you talk to Scratch, because, we're supposed to be guarding.
Well, let me holler at him
Okay,
real quick. Yep, so I'm just going to cast a little bit of a message spell.
Okay.
It's only 120 feet, so that's not actually going to work.
Crap.
We'll say for the purposes of contacting Scratch, you can use a message spell for that.
Okay,
so
that works. Yep, so I'm just going to let Scratch know the door is super guarded. We did a great job. Found another job to do, and now we're on it. Requisitions will be arriving upon her desk promptly, so we are not AWOL.
Before we get to her response, you're messaging Scratch. You're heading back to the door. Orwell just kind of walks over to you and puts a hand on your shoulder, Kenneth. Listen, Kenneth, I know you're new to most of the bigger cities here in the Brasslands, but...
Yeah, and I already go first day here.
Reminds me of... Well, me, to be honest, but the point is, magic is useful in the Brasslands, not well received in other areas.
You will be happy to know that we pretty much have clearance, I think, to be able to... that's what I got. That's what I got out of it, right?
I wouldn't...
All right.
I wouldn't use it freely. I would use it when necessary. You see, and he kind of points over to the nods over to the brigade. As you kind of glance back over, you can see there looks to be two of them kind of like positioned near the water with their suits, and they both have like their arms are up and like clapped together, and you watch as the water is flowing up from the ocean into the arms and getting shot into the ship itself to extinguish the fires. And he points to him and he goes, "Those men use magic, but through the machine, not through them. Here in the Brasslands, magic is contained, controlled. If you're to use it, you must control it. There cannot be chaos. That's when the trappers will come. You will remember this, won't you?"
Yes, but I will say it seemed pretty controlled to me. I don't know. It seemed like y'all were...
It
Yes,
always seems
the
controlled
answer.
to the caster, and that's when, that's when it goes wrong. But just be on your guard. The trappers don't look kindly on anyone, magic or otherwise.
We found that out.
And he kind of nods again over there, and as he does, you kind of glance back, and you can see one of the orange cloaked, what people are calling trappers, kind of standing amongst the soldiers, but eyeing the mechs kind of like up and down as if to, even though they know it's being contained, they're still keeping a very close eye on it. Orwell kind of straightens and kind of, pats you on the back. Right, well, seems my work here is done.
Aren't you coming with me? I don't know these people from Adam.
No, it seems you've gotten yourself into a situation that you must now
I'd like to go
solve.
with you, I think.
And if you do, what will the charges about magic be brought against you?
That's a good point, but these two look bitey.
Hold on.
If they look... He kind of lowers his voice at this point so only you can hear him. Most lizards don't do well if you poke them in the eye. Remember that for draconians or bigger lizards. First lesson of monster hunting. And he kind of straightens again. You'll find me at the Golden Stallion Inn when you're done.
Okay, whereabouts is that? Here?
It's in the city. You'll find it.
Okay.
Use the skills I've given you. Or just ask around. One or the other.
All right,
I don't
then. Off we go, I guess.
So,
Before you
wait,
leave, Kenneth, do you recall seeing anything during the fight? Anything that would give you clues on the next place to go? Remember, small details can lead to larger trails, bigger footprints.
Well, the ship was House Tolliver. It was real fancy.
Good.
There was
Good.
automatons
Yes.
that was there. There was people who jumped off the edge who escaped from us that we were not able to get.
Did you get a good look at them?
Did I get a good look at him?
Make a history check. Yeah, history, because that's intelligence.
Did I?
Right. There is one that got
9.
captured.
9?
Yeah.
You don't really have a description. You do remember them, but you don't. Hard to put
Kind
them
of
out in a
shaped like,
lineup.
like little, kind of shaped in a humanoid way, I suppose, yeah.
Remember, Kenneth, the smallest details. Keep them locked away.
Well, okay.
And he just kind of smiles again at you.
Well, maybe some of these other folks have information that we can maybe pull together since my eye for detail wasn't the best at this time. I was scared.
Use the terrain or the people to your advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck. And he kind of turns around and nods to the rest of you. He begins to make his way back through the crowd.
Okay. Where'd you say he was going to be?
The Golden Stallion Inn.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I ain't writing that down from your racist grandpa.
Hey, did you see that again?
No, that was a different accent.
It's clearly a different accent than he used.
Yeah, Mitch pops up. Hold up, just because we use country accents does not mean we're racist.
Hey, wrong timeline, let me teleport out.
Hold on, did you say?
Excuse me, Glifford, was it?
Meanwhile, as that conversation is going on, Glyph, you are using your specific message spell, the enhanced one, to contact Sergeant Scratch, or that's what you call them. And after yes, you call her. After a few moments, regaling them with what happened, you hear. Glyph, I'm not gonna lie to you. Today's not the day for you to get in trouble. Could you just go back to watching the door, or are you going to...
Well, I mean, of course we can do that, but I feel like we've got a jurisdictional issue here. I don't know if this person is higher than you or lower than you. So
What did you say their name was?
The name specifically would be Dockmaster Demir.
Portmaster Demir.
Oh, Dockmaster.
One moment, and you hear the...
Scratch, 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 quill scratch, quill scratch, 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 quill scratch.
Right. Dracor 92, I am officially regaling you of your duties at the door and assigning you to this mission of utmost importance where you're going to track down bandits for the Portmaster. Is that what you needed?
Yes, right, thank you, that's all I needed. And not even thinking, just continuing this by accident, I try to message Zeph. He was like, hey mate, Scratch said we're good. We can
I'm still on the line.
On me. That one's on
Yes.
me. Open a separate line and communicate with Zeph that we are clear.
And they just start mumbling to themselves something about murdering something as it just kind of dwindles off.
Had it all before.
So yes.
Yeah, so I just relay the message to Zeph, get him back over here.
Sorry, continue.
Excuse me, Glifford. Wasn't one of the bandits captured?
I'm just like messing with the accelerator. That's what I call a rifle. I don't know who a Glifford is, so I don't. It's not that I'm being rude by not acknowledging. It's just that's just not my name, so I don't pay any.
Are you saying that out loud?
No, I'm just like.
No, he's just.
You're saying it in the voice, so I'm thinking.
Glifford.
Hey,
Glyph.
Yes, yes, Glyph, that's me.
Hey,
Glyph.
did one of the people get captured or whatever so we can talk to them?
If I recall, I think it looked like a couple escaped out the back.
Out the back?
We did not kill one. He
I know.
was apprehended.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could maybe track him down. I don't have the jurisdiction to acquire that kind of thing. But we could always go and see what we can do. Maybe grease the hinges.
Didn't the portmaster essentially give us that jurisdiction?
Maybe. I think they just want us to do something.
I'm back.
Nailed it. Zeph's back. He's...
Oh, okay. I thought your name was Zeph.
Oh,
yeah.
also wait, it's
I found out
got it. Right.
I found out what's under the table.
it's
That was
it's
funny.
not Glyphid.
No, ma'am. It is a Glyph. Glyph Kazidi. So... you
Cassidy?
Nice to meet you.
You
A
could
Glyph.
Thank you. You could probably just call me Glyph. I'd appreciate that.
Hi, Glyph.
Yep. Thank you. Hello. Your name was?
Lucius.
Nailed it. I've got it remembered forever now. Yeah, so maybe we just go to
If you like.
wherever it is prisoners are kept, of course, and maybe we give this guy a good old-fashioned interrogating, and maybe we figure out what we can find.
Yeah, but they're probably interrogating him first and probably can't get in there, right?
Well, I guess there's one
Oh, Hannah's
way
great
to
at talking with people, though.
find out.
He talks to me all the time.
Usually there's a list. You put your name on it.
Yep. Yeah, it's called the hit list. Yeah, because when you interrogate people, you get to head them, so you've just got to put your name on the
That
hit
is
list.
not what that's called.
That
That's what we call it.
Yeah, I know, like...
Everyone, let Oyan speak. And I get down on one knee and I put up my hands.
God.
Send
It just-
energy.
Little dick
you
vibes.
you lizardy boys have been in the area for a while, no?
Are you joking?
I don't know.
Is she joking?
I don't know if she's trying to be insensitive or funny. Either way, it's not... But yeah, we've been here a while.
Oh,
Okay.
Kind of...
think she.
Silently in your head.
I think she's new here.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we've been here a while.
Do you have the message spell too?
It's different. I can just speak into the head of anyone who I can see.
Oh, okay.
But
I wish real
the
life could do
dynamic
that.
of it though we've decided is less words because it's the creature only has to be able to understand any language. So we kind of like to see it as like just like a visual maybe like a mind picture.
Okay.
Like a feeling, maybe.
Yeah, it's not like a vivid description.
It's like intention.
Yeah, it's Google image, not Google search.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you fellows have been here for a minute at all, do you happen to know much about the families in the city, or do you happen to know much about the crime rings or anything, the black markets?
See, we've tried to get on those missions.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of more
not
door
yet.
guys.
Okay, I'm a warlock, so I have to ask.
Yeah.
We, doors and like guarding
Windows.
parties and
You guys want to go out to eat?
Well,
I'm hungry.
okay, yeah, we
I
can...
wonder, I need to make a pit stop back at the circus. Perhaps
I don't
the
like them.
ringmaster
Has food?
might. Well, yes, you know there was always food at the circus.
Shitty food.
Sometimes it depends on who's cooking that day. But
I mean, we know people. We can get
We
information.
can figure it out. We
The-
just...
our ringmaster has been quite well traveled, and perhaps he's made friends with not always the savoriest of fellows.
I mean, friends and owing people money are two different things.
Man, there's a good joke here about eating humans.
Oh,
it's
he-
right over the
You do
plate.
that?
He does
On the plate or over
not
it.
owe people money.
He doesn't owe people money.
No, people
thought you-
owe him money instead.
Oh!
Yeah. So perhaps that might be a good source of information?
I mean, yeah, they'll do.
Was it Dimitri?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm
what
just scared.
information are you wanting? What information?
Who are they?
We could
I would
maybe suss something out.
Love more information about House Tolliver. Perhaps they have perhaps they have enemies. Perhaps they
House
are
Tolliver.
involved in unseemly things.
The ship.
as well. Yes, the ship.
What do I know about House Tolliver?
If only
Could we?
I
walk
knew
and talk
anything
at the
about
same
House
time?
Tolliver.
Yeah, we're walking and talking.
If
Okay,
as we're
perfect.
walking, I'm just looking for the nearest.
I'm trying to remember what I've heard.
Where
about.
are
You're trying to do that, and I'm
Where are you going?
to the big blue
to
sea.
to go see Dimitri.
Okay, so you're heading to the...
And as we're doing that, I'm kind of just looking for a pothole or a manhole cover. Looking specifically for one of our informants named Pothole. See if you could give us a little bit of little information.
Make a history check
I
for
also
me.
got one called Road Bump.
Make an investigation check for me.
Oh,
All right, while I investigate things, that's a 12.
can I have a non-heavy dice? Thank you.
Ooh.
Investigation.
History.
What?
You're trying to recall information.
16.
16. Oh, that's actually pretty good. With a 12, Pothole is not around at this point. He's not.
What do we
available.
pay him for?
I don't think we pay him.
With a 16, you are trying to figure out what now?
What I remember about House Tolliver.
So with a 16, you would know the basics of the Brasslands leadership to be that there are 4 great houses. Of the 4 houses, one house is always instated as the lead house for a time, whether it be due to political gains, financial boons, strategic assassinations, whatever it is. And that the person in charge of that is usually the head of the house, and that person becomes what's known as the Brass Lord. They are essentially the end-all be-all. Their word is law, but they distribute their power amongst the rest of the cities and towns in the form of governors and margraves and capitals, the people who are in charge of the cities themselves. But they all defer to the Brass Lord as the top person. The 4 great houses are a myriad of individuals who all basically live and breathe the political scheme. They all belong to these families. Their name is their badge of honor, essentially. If you are an important person, it's because your last name is one of these 4. Your surname is one of these 4 houses. House Tolliver is known widely for its goods, its transportation. House Tolliver has the most airships. Actually, no, scratch that. I am so sorry. I read that wrong. House Tolliver does not have the most houses. They are tradable goods, but they use another house for transporting most of their stuff because they only have a few airships. Sorry, I misread my own notes.
That's all good. Nice. That's all I know.
Okay, so...
you would know the 4 names if you want me to tell you those.
Yep.
Yeah, so Tolliver is known for...
Goods.
Tolliver deals primarily in trade. Trading goods.
Yes.
Imports, exports, that type of thing. But they do not have the transportation.
Yeah.
That is secured under another house.
Yeah.
That's the majority of
They're
them.
not shipping their imports, exports.
Yes.
Let's say
They have a
they're
few-
like the heads of commerce.
They have a few ships. Now, to be fair, it is not like one person owns all of this and nothing. It's each house gains the high ground, as it were, in certain areas, and they become known for that until something happens or it gets traded in and out. It's a very give and take kind of ebb and flow in the 4 houses.
I would definitely love the names of the rest of the
Absolutely.
houses and what they are known for, if possible. Sorry, I'm a nerd.
I would
It's
say
my knowledge.
I'll give you
in
some
a second.
I'll give you some basics. So, you would know House Tolliver, obviously imports and exports. You would know House Aurelius.
House Aurelius.
If you spell it,
Aureilus.
Marcus Aurelius.
Close enough.
Yep, nailed it.
And you would know for it's common knowledge, House Aurelius is currently the
seat of the Brass Lord.
the seat of the currently is the seat of the Brass Lord.
What do they do?
House Aurelius is known for its it is known mostly for its metal manufacturing. They deal mostly in what's known as the deep iron. They are the leading manufacturer for automatons.
That's big. That's big news. That's big news.
I'd like to be a member of House Aurelius. That sounds like it would be fun.
Okay.
And then there's House.
Obviously House Tolliver. Then there's House Zahavi.
Zahavi.
All right, I'm gonna give it a whack. It's XE. Okay.
Zahavi. Zahavi.
Zahavi. What they good?
House Zahavi is known for its military might. They supply most of the training and armoring of Milita in and throughout most of the Brasslands.
Oh, so that's kind of the one that we'd be dealing with the most, I feel, probably.
Hopefully not.
That's kind of... we're
Oh, you.
yeah, we're military guys. I mean, as it were.
Yeah, so Zahavi, you know, the military, they're the ones we know the most about.
Yep.
And then last but not least would be House Fyrick.
Fyrick.
Fyrikk.
What'd they do?
And Fyrick is known mostly for its buildings. They are the architecture.
Architects. Mm-hmm. Cool.
And again, this is more prominently. All the other ones are very well established and dabble in all of these areas. Mm-hmm. So you can come across. It's not unusual to see anything, but they're known more for these things done until somebody in these houses falls or is killed or marries, and then these powers do shift.
Yeah, it does shift. Yeah,
it does shift back and forth.
I understand.
In this era, currently in this day and age, this is what the houses are currently established as.
And then there's Fyrick, who does really good buildings. Fyrick.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
And that's
Is that Dimitri over there? Is it Dimitri over there?
No.
Everyone looks like Dimitri.
Dimitri, you would know. Ohiana, Dimitri probably got very scarce when trouble showed up, but you do know where the circus was set to rest for the night, just outside of the city, more up the coast and inland a bit more. So it would take you. It'd take you a few minutes to, probably about a half hour to get through the city to that other side because you're not super familiar with it, but you could make your way over there if that's what you wanted.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So, and everyone else is going with?
Okay. I feel like it's probably a good idea.
Sure.
I mean, I guess
Those
I'm
bands
going where
mixed
y'all
us.
are going.
Matt, what does TBD want to do? Okay, cool.
good idea. Good idea.
I don't think TBD would have done that, though.
Hey, it's his character.
Yeah. So TBD and Aramir.
I believe.
I will get it right one day. We'll both follow suit as well.
Something like that. You're close.
I think it was
I got it written down.
Armor.
As you guys leave,
Aramir, yeah.
as you guys leave the scene of the crime, as it were, there is definitely a couple of guards that try to stop you, but the portmaster, who is still dealing with the trappers and a few of the people, just kind of like explicitly yell at them until they let you go. But you definitely get a side eye as you guys leave. So it's tension.
Should we
Huh?
check out the guy who we needed to check out here first before we start wandering off someplace else?
How far away is the place that we need to go?
I mean, I put our name on the list.
We need to decide and do something.
Well, I'm saying we're already right here, right now.
You don't know where the
How long did they
you
say
don't
the
know
wait
where the
would be?
bandit is. He was taken by the soldiers, and you have not seen him since.
Well, never mind. Maybe he could be far away. I don't know. Maybe we could ask around. Or is there any soldiers? Y'all got any connections with soldiers?
They look like they.
Yeah, if you want to
they
kind
want
of look around here and get more information, you're more than welcome to before you leave.
Can I see the portmaster?
Yeah, Portmaster Demir seems like they're speaking with one of the soldiers, but as you walk up, just right, is it? Yeah, you again.
Where,
Silver Tongue, I've got this. Hello, Portmaster. We would like to know if we could just speak with the bandit that was apprehended a few minutes ago in the battle, as it were. As you've tasked us with this job of, figuring this whole thing out.
but if she knows what she asked
make
us to do 15 minutes
Make an
ago.
insight check.
So many words.
Well, that's the key. It's the 3. Sometimes you've got to butter them up.
Anybody else
before
want to make an insight check while this is
Ooh,
happening?
insight?
I'm always staring at people, so yeah.
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check.
I always stare.
Just creeping them out.
I was about to say, what are you, homeschooled?
Dude, almost got a natural 20, then it cocked a little bit. And went
Drew
back
just
to
got a
2.
nat 20,
I got
though.
5.
-2.
You stole my nat 20.
So 18.
It's a nat 20, dog.
That's true.
Totally.
But it is
Call
a
a
-2.
spade. It's nat 20. Don't
That's
worry
right.
about pluses or minuses. It's nat 20.
Zeph, you immediately can see the slight widening of the Portmaster's eyes, and remember what she said, which was, I need this to be done under the table, not blurted out loud in front of the soldiers about what you're trying to do.
Got it.
So you want to step in.
In her head, I'd say,
Got it.
I could just knock him out, maybe.
and suggest, like, an image of us meeting with the guy to interrogate. And then a question mark.
She looks at you after he finishes saying what he says, or stops. I assume, do you stop him from continuing to talk, or do you?
Yeah, when I say so many words.
You never hold a silver tongue.
I reached for his tongue.
If it is silver tongue.
Naturally gauntleted hand just grabs his tongue.
Thankfully, the guard is an idiot and just kind of like continues to like talk to Portmaster, turns to him and says, "If you're quite done here, I need you to bugger off." Right, pardon me. And he just kind of wanders off, feeling a little hurt and dejected, kind of spins around to you. What about keeping this under the table? Did I not make explicitly clear?
Oh, I know what that means now.
Listen, you're not supposed to be investigating.
I let go of his tongue.
You're not supposed to be investigating anything. If anything, all you're supposed to be thrown into the brig for casting magic. But I'm hiring you on my own bottom dollar. I don't know why I said dollar. It sounds like a good thing. It's a thing. My bottom coin. I'm hiring you privately. So keep this privately. Is that more clear?
I think
It's somehow it's both more and less. Either way, we will be making
Splendid.
our
Now,
deal.
if I know anything, the guards took the other bandit and buggered off with him. So, if you want to find the bandit, better find a good excuse to talk to him. Otherwise, look around here for your clues or go find the people that you saw escape.
Yes.
One of the two. I don't care. Stop talking to me. I got a freaking ship that's on fire and probably another one that's about to burst in flames here in a moment too.
okay.
Well, I guess we should. Yep. Thank you for your consideration.
Yeah, we're gonna go bugger a different direction.
Should I check the ship for clues?
No, I feel like that might be
We're
suspicious.
not allowed to do that.
Fire?
That's alright.
I think we should get away from the scene of a crime.
You're probably right about that. Could we maybe to take a look around,
We
but
can just
not
ask
like
people that are not here.
suspiciously? You know.
Sure.
Yeah. Would it be investigation or perception?
Depends on if it's investigating. Tell me what you're investigating. If it's perception, you're just looking around.
I would. Trying to think back. And this could be history, whatever you want to make it. Trying to think back to the stupid boys who decided to escape. Just trying to remember anything about seeing maybe the direction that they ran or anything of that particular nature.
I would say go ahead and do. I'll let you choose. This sounds fun. What would you like to use?
What are my options?
Any of your options. You can choose anything. It sounds like a very interesting way to like figure it out, whether directionally or you're either percepting, investigating, or using history to recall information. So I'll let you choose which one sounds.
My modifier is the same on all of them, so it really doesn't
Perfect.
matter.
Arts, baby.
So roll and see what happens. Level 2.
Level 2.
Didn't you say there was something that was thrown into the water? Or am I making that up?
I mean, a guy fell in the water
Yeah, a guy
because she
fell in the
broke the
water.
bridge. Or she broke
But
the
no one threw
side.
anything into the water.
No. The two, there were two
I threw in
who
a
jumped over
automaton
the
in the
other.
water.
Is
Okay,
that body still there though?
There ain't not really
I would
nothing we
like to
could
take
do.
the time to inspire myself.
Okay. Can you do that at this?
You can do that until
level?
level 14.
No.
Yeah, you can
I
do
don't
that.
believe we can.
I don't have.
You believe in everyone but you.
Yeah, which is weird. But yeah.
You do not have that ability just yet.
Yeah,
That's
how long till
dumb.
more levels?
Well, if you can figure stuff, if you can solve mysteries soon, hopefully.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'd like to do an investigation check to start tracking, like, just military style basic. I'm not real good at it.
Are you investigating the area or maybe like the direction they went?
Yeah, the direction they went. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm assuming that you guys.
Hey, anyone see which way they went?
Yeah, they went that way.
Alright. That's the place to start then.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Y'all
go
got
ahead.
good
Go ahead and make an
good
investigation
sniffers?
check. Go ahead and make a good
I'd
investigation.
like to make a nature check. I'm going to use my silver tongue, as it were. Kind of taste the air, see if I notice
Sure.
anything.
Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
I'll do that.
16?
Yeah,
That's
mine was only a 9. So I was trying to inspire myself.
Yeah, not great.
only a 12.
12?
Not
What do you
great.
do?
Well,
I hate things.
things.
I do things as well.
Well, it's
but-
not bad.
Are you better than this than the people that talk a lot?
Well, I
I
don't
got
know.
a 12
you-
because I was just
what
holding
did you
your
roll
tongue,
for-
and so it doesn't work as well.
It's very
Drew, what'd you roll?
metallic
16.
taste.
16. You drew a 16 investigation. Okay, so with a 12, Will, you discover
Well,
Hell.
well, hey.
you, as you begin to kind of taste the air, pick up on something a bit unusual. Usually, when you, being the type of person you are and being where you're from, you're familiar with the smell and taste of fire and the effects of it burning things. This fire tastes different. The fire that's burning the ship tastes different than normal fire.
More alchemical?
Possibly. You'd have to look close. You'd have to get more in depth to figure it out. But just kind of off the top of your head, it seems odd. It doesn't seem like, when you smell a fire and you can tell, like, oh, that's wood burning, or that's not normal. You can kind of sense it almost. But that's all you get from that. Investigation, Drew. As you are investigating with a 16, you can definitely see there's the fire that is burning. There is what looks to be the last of the fire that's been kind of put out. The rest of it's kind of smoldering. It seems like the brigade has started to pull stuff off of the top of the ship and kind of load it onto the dock itself. Someone seems to be taking record of that, so somebody seems to be recording what's left on the boat. There does seem to be a pile of the automatons that you did destroy, kind of piled off to one side, being guarded by two kind of just blasé soldiers. And then there is what looks to be kind of the direction that you think that they could have disappeared without being noticed. You do kind of get a sense of that's probably the easiest way to slip out unnoticed is that way. So you've got kind of like 3 different, essentially like paths that you can kind of pick up on with the 16 investigation. So
Is it?
So,
Oh, well, is it obvious or apparent what they were transporting in that ship? Can I see
I
that?
can find out for you.
you could, there is one person who's currently documenting the stuff. So if you can,
I can ask them.
you can, if you want to talk to them about it, you can certainly try. It's up to you.
Can I please
Why
talk?
don't you go ask about the ship?
I'll do that.
Someone want to take a look at the automatons?
Hey, Zeph.
What?
Perhaps since you're a soldiery
Little
type,
shit, you
Right.
don't quit staring at me right now.
perhaps you could go talk to them
Okay,
and
you're
maybe
creeping
see
me
if
out.
there's an insignia or some sort of logo
Hey, let me give you the
that was on the automatons.
Kind of off.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, though. I mean,
And to see perhaps if a
it's okay, I'm
certain
used to
person
well,
Owned
now I feel
them.
bad, actually.
Got it like a maker's mark.
You control what you feel.
essentially.
Done.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I do. I'm a bit of a tinkerer, but just for fun on the side, not really as a occupation, more as a hobby. So I'll come with you. Let's go,
Alright,
Zeph. Let's figure it
sounds
out.
good.
Okay. So you two are going to the automatons.
Yeah.
Yes. There's one deep underwater, right? That sank.
There is one down there, as far as I remember, but there is the pile of a few of them that you did destroy that are all pulled to one side, and there are 2 guards standing next to them, just kind
Let's
of
do
like.
that one.
Let's do that one
Could
first. I can also
walk
hold
in
my
the
breath
general
for about
direction that
15
Zeph
minutes. So if we
mentioned
need
of
to,
where
I
we
could.
think
Sure.
the others
Yeah,
might
the
be
direction where they
safe
may have gone.
to
Yeah,
see if I
absolutely.
can-
You can head that way. Anybody else go anywhere else? You all.
Yeah, I'll go and talk to the person taking note of what was left over in the ship.
Alright, so-
I'm gonna go with them.
All right, just don't quit staring so much. Blink once in a while. That's
You
not
notice
normal.
at one point as he's staring at you, much like crocodile or something, a fly lands on his cheek and crawls over his eye without
Holy shit, that's gross.
without blinking, and then flies
Listen.
off.
I know I'm a talking lizard, and it's just, I don't like it. Creeps me out.
Cold Front and Zeph, you approach the two guards that are kind of standing there, and you hear them talking to each other. So, what do you reckon they did? Oh no, I guess they were trying to. Oh, someone's coming, and they both kind of stand up. Hold there. That's far enough.
At ease, gentlemen.
No, we're gonna look at these.
Yeah, we're guards. We'll take the next shift of guarding. So, you know,
Okay, so
it's
you
what
are,
we do.
are you intimidating, or what are you doing?
You know I'm intimidating.
Okay, so make an intimidation check. Are you persuading them to?
Oh yeah.
I would say persuasion or deception, your choice.
I'm gonna go persuasion because I actually do really love guarding things. So
14.
Okay.
15.
15.
Solid. Either be scared or be pleased.
They immediately were both like, oh, right, thank you, sorry. Don't mean to.
No, thank
We'll go.
you.
No trouble at all. We'll keep guarding this.
They both just kind of, they do the thing, they walk away, and they go about 20 feet away, and then they start just kind of like looking at each other and slowing down, just like, just kind of not really knowing what they do.
I'm gonna point at the warehouse that we were guarding and put the image in their minds of the door that I was guarding and them guarding it.
Yeah, it's like
Just feel it.
side door. All the action's at the side door. It's not the back
They
door.
keep on walking with this weird, strange, invasive image of a door in their mind, just like,
And the directions together, like
it's a weird telepathic intrusion, but I'm sure that it won't give them PTSD as they go on with their life. But yeah, so you guys can
weird things.
walk
It's never
away.
been proven that has ever caused any permanent damage.
Yeah, I pull my glasses out of my pocket, put them on the end of my snout, and just start looking over.
Okay, make an investigation check for me if you'd like to.
Haha! 23!
23.
there you go.
Jeez. Yeah, easy to tell. These are extremely poorly put together automatons. And by extremely poorly, they're not made by the same manufacturer,
they
I guess would be the word for it. They are cobbled together.
Like Frankenstein.
Like a
The
kit.
most interesting part,
They're like metabots.
there is no maker's mark on any of them. If any indication, most maker's marks are placed on the back of would be the head or the helm of an automaton, or the top of it essentially. Especially if it's a humanoid designed automaton, usually it's on the top of it near the back of their head. None of these, if they did have a head, it was either marred off or removed.
Can I do an Arcana check on these guys to get any more information?
Sure, make an Arcana check.
So, via investigation, I found out that they're made like shit and no one wanted to claim them.
They're known. Anytime you see an automaton with this or without a mark, it's known as an unmarked. They're called unmarked, meaning that they don't belong to an organization. Usually, organizations will mark them so that they can lay claim to them. Most people do not have automatons for personal use. Most automatons are used in industrial work or protection, or there's a myriad of uses, especially in the Brasslands. But yeah, if it is an unmarked automaton, normally it is someone personally put it together, built it themselves, used pieces of other automatons to do so. It's easy to find. They fall apart pretty much on the daily. But unmarks are also not allowed. So if somebody has an unmarked, it is not somebody of high stature, and they are mostly used by, they are outlawed because they are uncontrolled.
I got 18 on that Arcana check.
18 on Arcana. Nothing out of the ordinary. They all seem to be powered by the normal means of automaton magic, which is a simple housing set just below the throat of these. Again, all of these are mostly humanoid in size. So just below the throat of them, there usually is a small kind of square housing that usually maintains a energy source that keeps them alive.
Like an Iron Man hole.
More like a battery, essentially.
Gotcha.
With an 18 Arcana, you do. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge for automatons. Most of them have a shard of black steel in there, which is very conductive. so it can channel magic very easily, and kind of is used as a perpetuator too. They're not powered as in like they have a battery that has to be charged, but they're powered as in they're connected to a server, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm using non-D&D language to try to describe a fantasy robot. So basically, they have to be tied to either a caster who is maintaining concentration on them, or a source for their power.
Are you what's the name of that guy that that recycles black steel? You get together a load of black steel, he gives you some copper.
Yeah, he kind of just recycles everything, but black steel is kind of what he specializes in.
You know where we can find him, because...
Crandon Belly, I think, if I recall, was his name.
Crandon Belly. Yeah, that's right. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's all to use a word from the Dockmaster, buggered out about recycling. Mm-hmm. So we could see if he knows anything. If we wanted to take this, it's not... We're not like morally ambiguous. We're more tied to the law, so we're not doing this for personal gain. Just real quick, Zeph, make sure that we put that out there. We're not trying to make money off of this. We're not trying to resell. We're just trying to figure out what we can.
Well, we don't want shards of black steel just lying in the street.
Yeah, because that's right.
You would know it's not. So it is a very thin piece, almost like a shaved off piece of black steel.
Yeah, 3.5-inch floppy.
Kind of much thinner than that. It's just to absorb and distribute the magic from the source. Most of it, I mean, you'd have to get several hundred pieces of this to make anything worth an amount of black steel that is worth anything. Most of this black steel is not reusable, because black steel, once it is forged, it is not reusable. So you would know that somebody could start scrapping this stuff if they wanted to, but again, automatons cannot be used for personal use, so most of this is just going to go back to the foundry, and any of the black steel that's in here, because it has been forged into these specific uses, it cannot be reused, so it's not worth much anyway. So, because it's such a small quantity and it cannot be refined, essentially.
When I really think about it, like that recycling scheme, it sounds like it just uses more resources than it actually saves in the long run, so...
That's not to say your friend Crandon would not use it. Crandon is very good at just taking all of the crap and trying his best to make it into something worthwhile. So
that's fair.
I don't want to shoot you down. I don't want to shoot you down. That was a brilliant throw. Makes me so happy.
I'm just gonna pry him out.
Yeah, if you want to pry it, I've also got a hatchet. If you don't have anything sharp with which to.
Yeah, but
so you just
do you have a screwdriver? Because they're literally attached with two screws each.
So you're attempting.
Why would you?
Never mind. I hand him a screwdriver from my tinker's kit.
Go ahead and I would say, go ahead. If you would like to try to do it, go ahead and make a... Do you have a tinker's toolkit? So I would say go ahead and use your dexterity plus proficiency and make a tinkering check for me.
That's gonna be... that's actually not bad. 19.
19. Without issue, you gain 3 automaton housings.
Got it.
Well, that's going on. Kenneth.
Yeah.
Over by the ship.
Lucius.
And Lucius. Over by the ship,
Lucius.
you see seems an older gentleman, one of the two that was flanking, the portmaster a while back is standing over there. He's like flipping through the small ledger.
Can I just kind of like spy? Can I...
You're trying to read over his shoulder?
Yeah, a little
First of all, make a stealth check to see if he notices you.
Sure.
Do I have to make stealth check?
No, I'm saying she's going to do it.
Okay, cool.
15?
You rolled a 4. So,
sweet.
Yeah, he doesn't notice you. He's just kind of like, another day.
Another dollar.
Another coin. When will the menagerie ever end?
All right, what's it say?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me as you are now unseen as you approach.
Cocked. I'll take it. Nah.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll take it. 21.
Honesty is the best policy. 21.
This roll with advantage is brought to you by sleeping with your DM.
Yeah, can you edit out one of those rolls?
What?
The sound of the... No. Oh.
Yeah, you didn't know.
I did not know.
And now we've wasted 45 seconds talking about it.
I had to learn this way.
I didn't
a 21?
feel it was a waste.
Which part?
Never mind.
With a 21, you can definitely see the ledger that they're flipping through. There appears to be several lines, again, much like a ledger you would see way back when, several lines with descriptions and amounts and quantities and price points.
Way back when. Like my childhood.
Sure, let's go with that.
Definitely.
Oh, we get it. You're ancient.
Fun fact: I actually had a ledger book when I was a little kid. Not for anything. I just used it, and then I would start keeping track.
Yeah, because we had them. They were just lying around back then.
They were everywhere.
Yeah.
You can get them for 45 cents at a garage sale every once in a while. Giant ones too. It's crazy. Going through their ledger, you can see there appears to be several lines of what is marked as miscellaneous goods. Several lines that are marked Great House Tribute. One line that is now scratched out. They seem to have scratched over it pretty vigorously. Seem to try to completely mark it out of the ledger. And then underneath there seems to be a note that he has now written, and it says damaged, and it shows a bunch of markings to mark a bunch of damaged items, and then missing there are 2 hash marks.
Furious writing is happening right now.
It's the
Do you
awkward
think
silence
you
of
could
writing
work
things
on
down.
some banter while you write?
Probably.
Kind of like
No.
a whistle
So for-
while you work thing.
Yeah.
I think we all need a
Everyone
break
just starts humming while they write
every
stuff
once
down.
in a while.
Yeah, so basically you can see many things were damaged, but almost nothing was stolen.
All right, nothing taken. All right, okay. I'm looking at Lucius like, what do we do? I'm in about that. What do we do?
Lucius is staring into the ocean.
Even creeping out the fish.
Shut the hell up.
What do we do? Is what I'm mouthing. What do we do?
This is glorious pantomime going on behind this guy who does not want
It's
to
like
be
a
here
couple
today.
of Santa Calgon trying to figure out which stall they're gonna go to next.
Under the table. What are we doing?
No, I'll walk over to you because it seems like your eyes are glossed and that darn fly is still over around. All right, so listen.
My red eye laser.
All right, so listen.
Wait, his character has laser eyes?
No,
Calvin?
No, he does
not yet. Eldritch Blast.
This is how you make
But
things
there is
canon.
a faint with unbeknownst to everybody else. There, as the fly buzzes around his head, it goes back behind the coffin. There is a spectral white hand that just and pulls it in. Nobody sees it. Nobody sees it.
Nobody sees it, but for the listener.
I'm so glad I'm not with Lucius.
All right, listen. So that ledger had miscellaneous goods, great house tributes, a scratched outline that was very vigorously scratched out. Maybe we could see what was written on underneath it. You know how sometimes
You can
see-
do paper over.
yeah, like a rubbing, but we don't have the ledger.
We need to get the paper.
Damaged goods
So-
and missing. They said there's nothing missing there, but that's a little suspicious. Wouldn't there be
What?
something missing?
I
Maybe
thought there's like 2 things
items.
missing.
Only a few. Yeah, only a few.
Only a
items.
few things missing.
Nothing of import.
So basically, you didn't count it, but there was maybe 15 to 25 hash marks that they were scratching of damage, and then when it went down to missing, there was just 2 lines. So
There's something of interest maybe they took, but something got scratched out. So all we need is the piece of paper, right? Let me see what things I have.
make a
Who?
Kenneth.
I'm proficient in religion.
I ain't.
It's okay. It's a plus.
What is
2.
your passive investigation?
Passive investigation.
Why is it this campaign? I'm kidding.
I'm trying to incorporate it more.
12. It ain't super good.
12, not terrible.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean it is odd that bandits wouldn't have stolen more.
Yeah, it seems like banditing was what bandits would do.
Maybe
right?
they're not bandits. I mean,
Yeah, it's just weird. Why? It seems like they would have stolen more if they were bandits.
All right, hear me out. How
hearing
good you get snooching things, getting up there.
Snooching things?
Yeah, snooching.
What's
them.
snooching?
You're stealing,
I don't steal
pickpocketing.
things that much.
Yeah, but can you? Are you good at it?
No, but I can ask him nicely.
That ain't gonna work.
Watch, I'm gonna walk over to him.
You're not the charming fella you think you are.
Hi.
Only a few more. Oh my God! As they stare at.
Can I have that piece of paper?
I'm sorry.
Can I have that piece of paper? And I'm gonna try to intimidate him, but Lucius is trying to be nice, trying to persuade him. But what's actually happening is intimidation.
Go ahead and make an intimidation
Calvin,
check.
could you finish what you're going to say? As he stares at, could you describe how this man is experiencing the
He is
visual
staring.
that is our
He's
friend?
staring at. Imagine a much more friendlier looking demon from Death Note with the
hell yeah.
body of Slenderman. Just basically just kind of like
Oi!
over
Oi,
the top of
Alvin
him.
Slenderman!
That
I
is-
love that guy!
Oh,
And what a body!
That's a 16.
Your mother always said you could do better than him.
That's a 16.
What was
Natural 20.
Confirm.
He just kind of
demon from
and he pulls the ledger to his chest. No, thank you. Personal documentation for the port master only.
Oh, okay.
Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have that piece of paper?
No.
Damn. That sucks. Do you know where... What's your name?
My name.
Yeah.
My name is Ronald.
Ronald?
Yes.
Ronald, can I please have the piece of paper?
No. Don't know how many more times we're going to go around this vicious cycle.
I mean, that was the last time. That was the last time.
I don't believe you.
I look behind him, terrified. Does he look... I take the paper. Can I roll sleight of hand or something?
Strength check.
Strength check? Okay. Wait, strength check? No! Oak 7.
You rolled a 6.
Nailed it.
I'm gonna try to usher him to create a distraction to see if we could get maybe he won't notice right off the bat. Be like, I'm so sorry for my friend. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Weirdo.
No, he definitely notices the guy who
every time.
yanked it out of it. It wasn't sleight of hand. It was yanked out of his hand.
Nothing slight about those hands.
I'm gonna... Hold on, let me see what I got. Let me see what I can do.
Okay.
There has been no rest since our last endeavor. Remember that.
Somehow everything that's happened has only been an hour.
As I
started this-
as I take it away,
I have a feeling.
I'm gonna
my
try
spells are
to
still
quickly
active.
take that piece of paper and then take that piece of paper and then try to just in his hands a bunch of sparks coming in his eyes and stuff from precipitation, just a little harmless shower starts, like a little fireworks show in his eyes, and then I quickly take a piece of paper and I start trying to do the cool thing. My character doesn't know how it works, so I'm just taking the paper over it. It's I didn't know I was gonna get this far. I really didn't.
Can I snatch it from him and run?
I mean, yeah, you can go for it. I don't care.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Let's see where this goes.
Is this a dex check? What do you want?
So you're trying to grab it from him before he does this?
I'm gonna end up tearing up the piece of paper or something.
Most likely.
I was trying to stop him whenever it happened to see before he yanked it out to see if I could usher him in and make a little kerfuffle before it happened.
But it happened.
So are you attempting to take the ledger and give it back, or take it and run? What are you doing?
I'm gonna take it and run.
Oh damn!
Make a strength check.
Do I need to make
Yes,
it?
you do.
Okay, I don't. Yeah.
Contested strength check, so you can hold on to it.
Okay.
It's an 11.
The one time 17.
17th, yeah, it will not budge.
I got this.
It's at this point that the poor man Ronald looks over at the guards and says, "Help! I'm being robbed!" As the guards kind of spin around.
Where are the guards?
Yeah, we're the only
He's wrong.
on duty.
Hold on.
Guards.
Son of a... Yes, you're the guard.
Right. On the way. Hold on.
And I run over holding the accelerator. Say, hold on, what's happening here?
Take him away.
Sir,
That is the letter of the portmaster. It is not to be stolen by a vagabond.
Oh, no,
Arrest them.
young man, what do you have to say for yourself?
He's
Listen,
sorry. He's real
listen.
sorry for what he did. Did you find anything?
Sir, we will take care of
I'm gonna
this.
start doing it.
Give that, and he's gonna grab it from your hand.
No.
Arrest them.
Just kind of break him up,
Sir, I'll need the ledger. It is evidence of the crimes committed by these two.
Evidence he stole it.
Unless you would like to drop all charges,
Sorry.
I will need that. in
I
order
would like to
put-
say, who witnessed that? Who witnessed that?
I didn't see
You're
shit.
accusing me of nothing, sir.
You stole the ledger
young
from
man.
my hand.
Sir, I'm walking by, right, to take an inventory like I should, because that's what I'm hired for. And this...
What the hell is this character?
And this guy...
I'm gonna put shackles
I'm-
on this kid.
Okay.
Shackles behind his.
Thank you. As,
I can't hold
does
the
it.
ledger.
I take the ledger real quick and I hand it over to Kenneth, and I say, "Sir,
what? No,
one
she's
last-
complicit in the.
No, I don't know. Beans from Buckshot.
Honestly,
Here's
I'm okay
what we're
with
gonna
this.
do. I'm gonna stand here and I pull out a small notebook and I'm gonna take your story.
Meanwhile,
as she's doing that, just
Flipping.
real quickly. So you say
Make
you're
a.
It would be best if you cooperate. Intimidation.
Make a.
I like to think that my best friend
Yeah.
Zeph is slightly inept to the point where when he intimidates people, he announces it at the end of what he does. I'm gonna flex my arms, intimidation.
But it's only because he really has only one expression. He's a draconian. No one can tell what his face is doing. People don't know if he's
You got
joking,
dead lizard
if he's
eyes.
Death smile.
That's
if he's
offensive.
So
cajoling.
you have to tell them if you're.
Yeah,
intimidating.
it's
Okay.
just so you know, that was intimidation, not flirting.
I will say.
Get on the ground.
I will say. Go ahead and make an intimidation roll.
Yeah.
We'll rip your dick off before
Be good.
Is the shackles... Are the shackles real?
Unnatural.
Are the shackles real?
Yes, you are in handcuffs.
Okay, yeah. So he looks at you and begins to tell you, I was doing my job.
I'm writing.
Don't
it
take me
down.
to prison.
Right
I
into
have a wife and 2 kids.
Make a deception check.
Can I just in your head say, shut up?
This is my character
can.
trying to
just
act
a
like one of
stop
those.
sign appears.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got this. We're bluffing this.
That's fine.
Make a deception check.
7.
7. Nobody believes you.
Yeah, nobody's getting with you. guy.
So you telepathically tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
Very stereo-esque in both sides of your head. You hear his voice and the other voice going, "Shut up!"
Wait, can we do that in
Oh,
3?
yeah, that's awesome.
In 3, 2, 1.
Shut up.
You're supposed
I'm not
to
the
do
other
two.
voice. No, I'm taking down the note. I'm not talking to him subconsciously
It's the
because.
scary guy.
I'll take his and transfer it to the other. It's fine.
Sorry, I wasn't part of that one.
So as Reginald is
Thanks.
explaining to you the very short story of how he was just taking
yeah,
notes,
buying
and
her just enough time to scribble scrabble.
what are you doing?
Well, first of all, I'd like to see, yes, if I could take a pressing from underneath of where, you know what I mean? See if I can see
you-
anything written on it.
Do you have paper and the means to do so?
Well, I'd like to think I'm a little dusty, so maybe I could do it with dust. You don't
Ooh, nose grease.
scrape nose grease.
So
Cool. So we just found Kenneth's nickname.
on the underside of the paper, you're taking dust and just rubbing it into the paper and hoping that the
Yeah,
word
sometimes
shows
it
up.
works.
Okay.
You ever seen National Treasure?
Check your inventory if you have anything
Piss on it.
that helps.
That's not what happens.
I thought that was Cowboys and Aliens.
You know, I do have
Different
an
movie.
iron pot.
Wild, Wild
Oh, maybe
West.
I could use it. Listen, I have an iron pot. Can I scramble that out and see if the iron will rub off?
Just heads up, I can
that's-
buy you 15 seconds.
Maybe 15 seconds at the most.
You pull out an iron pot and rub it on the paper?
As he's talking, you just hear the as she's rubbing. No. Okay, so fine. You can use dust. Go ahead and just roll a d20 and let's see what happens.
Just
Get that one out of there.
What the hell?
Just
threw it at
across the
Liz.
table.
No, take that one out so it doesn't
Yeah,
disturb
yeah.
things.
I can't believe I caught it.
Maybe it's a 10.
Right down the middle.
Adding my proficiency bonus.
Part of the plate with that one.
Nope.
So underneath,
This is called storytelling.
you get the first few lines, which says, small blue chest reserved for, before you hear behind you, and that was all. Am I going to get my ledger back?
No, I think this needs to be taken as evidence.
Does she work for
No,
you?
she doesn't have jurisdiction, ma'am. I will be taking that back from you.
But
Thank
that's
you.
my evidence.
It's not yours, ma'am. Thank you. And I hand it
Thank
back to
you.
Reginald. So that's all.
Hey, you dumbass! I still needed that.
Hey,
I bought you 15
I'm
seconds.
going to kill you.
All right, Zeph, maybe you take this one away.
You ruined my life.
So, I don't know what this creature is, but you are in no way to feel threatened by it.
Sleep with both eyes open because you might miss out when I come.
Sleep with both eyes open.
Thank you.
Gripping your pillow tight, yeah.
Enter Lucius.
I'd like to cart Lucius off around the nearest corner.
This poor gentleman takes his ledger and immediately scurries away. He's done for now. He's going to take a break.
Quick turn over and I look at Kenneth and I say, all right, what'd you get?
Well, if your dumbass would have kept it as evidence since you were the law right then, it said small blue chest reserved for. That's it.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I was the law, but I'm not tasked with receiving evidence, and I don't like to blur the lines too much, as it were. Since we
The lines are
separated-
blurred, my guy.
Well, your lines may be blurred, but my lines aren't.
Okay, so do you unshackle me or no?
I know you.
They're doing their little story right now.
Yeah, that's all
I
we
don't
had.
know. Okay,
That's it. Hey, I'm done.
Yeah,
I did my best.
I'm gonna take you around the corner and just like
He unshackles me and like my weird contortionist
Yeah.
thing, and I go for a weird ass high five after from that back motion.
Oh yeah, totally. High fives are something we know. Yeah. Here.
No, that was
me acting.
you did good.
Thank you. Oleana pretends to be people that they're not all the time. Like themselves. I'm not sure if the real name's Oleana, but...
Which one's that?
That's the hot tiefling one.
Oh.
Meanwhile, hot tiefling. All of this is going on.
Careful you don't drink it too quick. That's some hot tiefling.
Yeah.
Ginseng.
Tiefling.
You ever
tart.
go to drink some tea too quickly and it's like, tiefling.
You head over to the area where this is up higher into the city itself, past most of these warehouses, and you can see kind of some open streets beginning to make their way deeper into the city proper. The warehouses are giving way now to what seems to be residential areas and stuff like that. 1 to 2 story buildings, nothing crazy about them. There is decent traffic for this day, for this time of day, and it seems to be pretty quiet. But kind of standing out this area, go ahead and make a investigation check or perception, I will say.
Okay. Things in my brain that she's kind of looking for. Remind me, were either one of the ones that ran away, had either one of them been hit yet, gotten injured?
Make a history check for me.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 21.
Ooh, 21.
Now that.
With the 21, you know both of them had been burned going through the fire. None of them had been hit directly by you guys.
Okay.
But you do also remember the first bandit that had jumped off, who had basically chickened out at the event, was a very young man with sandy blonde hair and a bandana, like a tied around the top, and his hair was kind of mopping over the sides of it. But you do recall seeing him.
Okay.
Very vividly.
Are there merchants or anything along these streets?
Oh, there's several people. There's people walking to and fro. There seems to be a couple people just kind of milling about. There's probably some beggar off on a side street. But yeah, there's a bunch of people everywhere.
You said investigation or perception?
Perception, if you would like to.
Just a 17.
17. There is no sign of anybody out here there's no sign of them out here anywhere. Doesn't seem to be any muss or fuss of somebody's, as if somebody had run by. Seems to be most of the attention was drawn to the explosion itself. But you can see there appears to be a few people kind of like sweeping in front of open kind of like maybe like a store in front of that's built into a house. There's one much older, kind of looks like ratted, tattered clothed gentleman looks to be urinating off in a far alley corner, and a couple of young boys who are rolling. Looks to be a dice game just off the side of one building, kind of rolling dice and kind of like playing craps or whatever. Can I go talk to them? Most certainly. It seems to be about 3 or 4 boys, 4 of them to be precise. They all seem to be again just taking a little trade, setting it down, and they seem to be passing. It looks to be a couple pieces of copper, maybe some like pieces of metal that maybe look like coins, kind of tossing them amongst each other. Just playing for the sake of it. Look to be maybe 6 or 7 years old.
Hey chaps, how are we doing?
They all turn to kind of look at you. We was you stealing nothing?
No, you're fine. What game are you playing?
Perch easy.
We're playing Rotem.
Well, can you tell me how to play?
Make
Can I join in?
Make a persuasion check.
No, get out of here, you old hag.
I mean, if she rolls a 1.
My mom told me not to talk to ugly people.
Well, it's 13.
13. They all look at each other and look at you. Sure. You can, if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Kill that.
You just take the, and one of them hands you a small wooden cup with a large cracker crystal above it. Inside there appear to be 3 little cubes that have some like markings drawn in them, just basic dice. You roll them, and then you smack them down, and whoever has the most wins.
Who's winning so far?
That would be Jeff. He kind of waves. Doesn't say where he's.
My name's here.
This seems like a really fun game. Can I play?
Sure. Kind of hands you the cup.
Do I have to bid first?
Well, we're using this, and he holds up the few. They're not real, but we kind of like to believe they are.
Yeah, that's perfect. I take a button out of off of one of the things that I'm wearing.
My blouse.
And
Nope.
I take the top 2 buttons off.
These kids are rolling at disadvantage.
I'm gonna roll a persuasion.
they are children. She is not a pedophile. Thank you.
Always good to specify if your characters are.
She is a bard. She is not a pedophile. Thank you very much.
Big difference in D&D.
Will this work?
Oh my god.
Takes it. It'll be great.
Perfect.
Oh, another one looks up. Whoa. Kind of staring at it. It's a very pretty button. Yeah, so they take the thing.
I take the cup and I shake it and dump them out.
Okay, go ahead and roll 3d6 for me.
Can I have one more?
Not that heavy one.
Jeez! I got a 6, a 5, and a 4.
It's 15
roll. I'm going to roll for Jeff and see what he rolled.
Jeff's
Not as much.
Jeff is better.
So you set it down, and as you lift up the cup, they all go, "Whoa!" They're like shocked. You won, and he kind of like hands them all to you.
Oh my goodness!
Pours them all in your hand.
Take the money and run.
Here,
Come on, take the buttons and
Can I roll
run.
again to see if you can win your coins back?
Sure. And they take it back. Yeah, you go. Another kid takes it and kind of shakes it, kind of getting excited now.
So can you tell me how long have you boys been playing out here?
One of them rolled a 4, 4, and 6. Oh, good job.
I got a 5, 5, and a 1. 4, 4, 6. That's
14.
Yeah, so I lost that time.
Oh, so close. Yeah, I did it. And he kind of like is happy. He kind of starts picking all the coins back up and handing them. He immediately takes all of them and then redistributes it back to his friends so they can like put them all back in the small like pot in the middle.
How long have you boys been playing this game out here today?
For a little bit. Mom said to get out of the house for a while. I don't know what time it is, but it's been a while,
It's been a while, yeah. Could you tell me, did you happen by any chance to see a man come running through here earlier? Maybe some, like, blonde or sandy hair?
A man? What was he running for?
I don't know. You know boys, they like to run sometimes.
Yeah, we do. We like to run.
It's very fun.
I don't remember. There was a couple of them that were running. Everyone was running to the boat.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big explosion.
Yeah.
Mom told us we couldn't go over there, so we had to stay here.
That's probably
So we
smart.
played Rotems.
Yeah.
But there was people that were running away.
Yeah.
There was two of them that were looking. They were looking like they had been in they could run through. It was all like burned and like it was. They smelled funny too. But they ran that way, I think. And he kind of points just in a general direction.
You said they smelled funny.
Well, yeah, because it looked like they were on fire, or not they've been on fire, like it was like burning smell. Like you know how when you put your hand too close to the candles and like it burns like the hairs on your arm.
Yeah.
It smells. It's what it smelled like.
Okay.
One of them looked like he got his hair too close to a candle.
Oh no. Have you ever gotten your hair too close to a candle?
Yeah, I was gonna burn my
goodness.
arm one time.
Oh,
Mom
no.
was not happy with me.
No, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, that's what she told me.
Look, here, can I roll one more time?
Yeah, that's what you guys want to roll into. Yeah, so they
Kids are like,
they
no.
agree that.
That's it, lady.
That's it. Now give us your coins.
I rolled
Pulls out a knife.
A
I rolled an
gun.
8.
They rolled a 5.
Oh.
So you win again. Good job. And they hand you all this stuff again.
Well, tell you what, I have to go to the market to go get some things. How about you boys keep this button?
You mean it?
Yeah.
We can include Anthony now. Let's go get him. And they all 4 boys immediately stand
Wow,
up and
what a bunch of
run
wholesome
away, run down the alley.
Perfect. And I would like
They're
to
too
go in the
good for this
direction that they
Sure.
pointed me towards.
Absolutely.
Two in this.
Make a investigation check as you head down that way.
But since they were nice to kids, I get advantage.
Can I?
It's so interesting that Liz is gonna die. In the
Yeah, they told you where to go.
second
I'll say
Yeah,
go ahead and
going
use
off by
it.
themselves.
I would agree.
deeper into the-
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. but
I mean,
I'm
I really thought
surprised
the
by
little
it.
kids were gonna kill her.
Well, it's a
Oh
13.
damn! We could've-
13.
If I went with them, we could have triggered one of my roommates.
Heading down this direction for another
Eat children.
another 4 or 5
They
minutes.
call me the good shadow.
You go
Makes
down
sense to
the main
about me.
street and kind of like using just kind of your intuition, just kind of like
Why?
pick some areas that you think people would try to go.
Yes.
You pick a side alley, and as you kind of go down it, you walk down maybe about 15, 20 feet and kind of look up and down. Nothing very thin alley, high walls, kind of 2-story buildings next to it. As you're beginning to turn and walk away, you catch kind of stuffed in a corner with a couple of small crates that are all kind of like shoved on one side. You see stuffed into one of the crates, it looks like, is 2 cloaks. Or a bundle of clothing, as it were. Very well burnt.
June 2 clocks.
Very, very well, like the edges of them are all kind of like curling and like burned away.
Yeah.
But yeah, there seems to be evidence that they had come down this direction.
I would love to take the bundle of clothing
Sure.
to investigate more in depth later on.
Absolutely.
And continue down that pathway.
You're gonna keep going because at this point they will have finished up with their stuff, so you can turn back if you want to at this point, or you can keep on going. It's up to you.
What would your character do? Begin their Honda Civic and turn around.
No, she would keep
The hot
going.
person in the horror movie
Keep going?
She would
keeps
keep
going
going.
and dies.
Hey, that's fine.
You did roll a second character, right?
I can certainly come up with one.
Oh look, it's Rev. Rev's back. He's like, well,
Weird. Okay, so heading down south, you make your way deeper into the city. You're getting to the point where it's more towards the main part of the city. Seems to be kind of more opened areas, a few more storefronts, more marketplace spots. Any sign of any more clues leading to where they would have gone? Not seeing a whole lot at this point.
Okay, no worries. On that note, then I will head back towards the docks.
Sure.
You're gonna need to roll initiative.
Yeah, so you head back.
yeah, no.
After the whole debacle of all of the ledger stuff and all of that fun stuff
That was so fun.
transpired, you guys all kind of regroup, and Ohiana appears shortly there.
Like physically, I mean, like you bested them in their game.
let's say we were equally matched. My intent was not to win. My intent was to gather information, in which I was quite successful.
Yeah, you smell horrible.
Alright, well, so were we. Figured out a couple of things about the Automaton. But nothing that really points us in any sort of, yes.
I mean,
do not
we
have
know
a
they're
wife and
like
2 kids.
criminals.
Thank you, yes.
I am 23 years old. Cannot handle that.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already pieced that together, but suffice to say, we have enough evidence to believe that it was kind of a rogue group, as it were. The automatons, as you would guess, were kind of poorly made, and interestingly enough, they did not have a maker's mark, which, as a matter of fact, is illegal. So there's no one we could interrogate about that, unfortunately.
On the cloaks, are there any insignias or anything? No telling details.
No, they just seem to be.
Where are they made?
Huh?
They got a tag. Where are they made?
There's
Oh,
no tag.
what blend is this?
Where is Vietnam?
Cotton, polyester.
It seems to be.
You'll have to taste it to find out.
Seems to be a
Butter.
basic wool blend. Of,
All right, a wool blend. It's a wool blend, I feel.
Itchy.
Tastes
very-
like mutton.
Very flammable.
Well, so we have arsonists who have run away. Let's chase them.
Yeah.
I like
Where'd you
it.
find those cloaks? You should head there as soon as possible.
We could, however, I followed down that pathway for quite some while and found no more evidence.
Well, maybe we should do a second pass, not to doubt you. Because like,
It seems
they're-
very
they're-
doubting, but
yeah, I know I was lying.
Yeah, I doubt
but
you.
there is yeah, me as well. But like,
I have no reason
There-
to trust you.
there's cloaks.
Or doubt you, so
they have automatons of like 10. How many do we fight? Like a bunch.
4.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so there's that, and they probably have They probably have like an underground base or something.
they could have been about
I mean-
mercenaries.
They make those
Yes, the thing.
underground bases.
That's the thing.
I mean,
That's
like,
legitimate.
is it a thing?
Yeah, they have
I
them.
fucking knew it.
Kind of like under the table, but
What?
Maybe we could go over to where she lost their tracks, try to find them, and if we don't find them ourselves, we could look for, I don't know, roadkill or speed bumper, one of the other guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pothole's kind of the one that navigates this town. Yeah, maybe if we cannot find them above ground, they have scurried below, as rats are tend to do.
Any chance to get to eat some fresh rat with you?
I mean, really?
it's really like...
Really, yeah.
Rats are pretty good.
Well, and the thought that you don't
I like
have to
this
cook them
kid.
or chew them, you just rot down the gullet.
No.
They're pretty soft.
No,
y'all don't
No,
know about
not-
diseases.
not that.
Yes, I do. Know a
Clearly
lot
they
about them.
don't.
Let's... Look,
We actually-
it's a thing.
Yeah.
Just... Shh.
You ever heard of powering through it?
I can make potions.
Yeah, humans can't do that with live rats.
Well,
I'm human.
it's kind of a drawback of your species.
Are you
Feel
sure?
it. To be honest,
No.
really, lizard folk shouldn't do it either. It's a thing with him.
I'll turn a different shade of green, but
that-
again, power through it.
Is that like some sort of kink or something?
No, Kanku. No. The Kanku, he's
I can make.
down there, but we're not
did you
gonna
know that I
eat
can
him.
make potions? This is the first character I've been like proficient in herbalism. So
Herbalism.
Herbalism.
I really pronounced the H in
So,
herbalism.
how do you find your companion Pothole?
Well, that's about the thing. You find a pothole and you hole off a pothole, and if he answers, he's close by. If he doesn't, he's not. Sometimes you got to wait a few days or a couple of weeks even to really get.
So
a
that's
hold
the
of
last
him.
ditch
Okay,
effort
so
thing.
that
Yeah,
might
it's
not be
kinda like
the most advantageous route then, unless he does have
Well, you
to
never
take
know,
it
because sometimes
I
he's
mean-
like right there.
I mean,
Well,
if
you
if-
find a pothole, you yell on the pothole. If he shows up, it's super advantageous.
If we're going underground eventually, or we're gonna be looking around, we're underground entrances. We're probably gonna find pothole anyways,
That's fair.
right?
That's fair. Yeah, we might find him.
Bingo.
How proficient are
I don't know what that is.
That's a
any
bingo.
of you in investigation?
+2.
I mean,
Plus
yeah,
4.
I'm there
I mean,
too.
I'm intelligent, and I don't know if you noticed this thing on the end of my snout. They're my glasses. I should probably put them away now that I think about it. If I'm looking for something, I'll put them on, and I can find them more easily.
You look good on me.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Perfect. So is anybody else picking up on anything? Anything that I missed earlier?
Are we there?
With what? The robes?
No, we're going back to the site.
Like, if we were going back to the site.
I think we should all go.
Yeah.
I think that's not a bad idea.
I thought that's what we already decided.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Calvin. Are we at the location, at the site where we...
Yeah, you guys.
Okay, cool.
If you guys want to go that way.
Yeah, okay, let me investigate.
So this is where I found the robes.
Did we take a short rest yet, or no?
No. Do you want to take a short rest? I mean,
I want to because I got hurt, but like it's fine. Like we don't have to.
Okay.
I can manage.
Okay.
Natural 20.
I mean,
I'm like,
I'm investigating really hard,
Can-
and I feel good about it.
Are we in like a darkened alley now? Is it dimmer?
Small side road.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's not. I don't need to cast light to make sure.
No,
I can see.
no.
Okay.
Calvin,
Yes.
with my natural 20 investigation check, can that just make pothole appear? And just for the record, I am aware of the fact that it's a manhole that we're referring to. We're using the term pothole.
Also, it's a kobold, not a kenku. I've been flubbing that one. That's on me.
Oh, you've been saying kinky?
Yeah, not kobold. It's on me.
I'm sorry. What am I missing here?
Pothole?
I accidentally been saying kanku, not kobold. So I don't want people thinking it's birds underground. They're not lizards.
So you want the kobold known as pothole to appear with your natural 20. Is that what you're trying to
That's
do?
what you're. Yeah, that you're hearing
Okay.
correctly.
That's what he
All right. I'm just want to make sure I'm hearing this. Okay. So with your natural 20 investigation, as you're looking around, you hear the sound of some of the cobblestone underneath.
What?
But you hear that sound right there. No, you hear the sound of stone against stone as some of the cobblestones underneath the street go and reveal opening in the ground, and popping out its head is this gray scaled lizard. It's kind of like scurries out and looks around.
Is that normal?
Looks up and sees you both there. G'day.
Right, pothole. Couple of things, real quick. Don't freak out. I know there's a lot of people around you. You don't need to be too skittish. Just you're with your mates.
Perfectly fine.
We're wondering of the goings on down below. Have you noticed any unsavory characters? Maybe with cloaks of wool. Did you grab that wool cloak? Could you maybe smell it?
Yeah, they were these. They ditched them at some point, but they came running from the docks.
Flashy human pink types.
Pancakes.
One of them had
If you find them, we could
sandy-
probably eat them. He ate them. So?
I had a rat, so I'm good to go.
Oh, you got them down there.
Yeah, I got a couple of them down here.
You call that a rat? That's a kobold's rat.
That's a kobold's rat.
It's no rings on the tail, mate. That's a damn mouse.
The mouse is rebranding.
They don't like being referred to as mice because they feel it's inferior. So no, we're kobold rats.
But yeah, so you eat a small mouse. But yeah, this is pothole begins to look at the cloak and take a look at it.
I mean, I didn't see anybody come down here. There's nobody down in the tunnels. Usually, because nobody can fit, because we're much smaller than like the average human size humans. But if you're looking for what you're looking for specifically, maybe like a location or a name, anything else you got.
Like the guys that are tied to these.
Yeah, you.
Specifically.
So I'm sorry, Mr. Pothole.
No worries.
I'm not familiar
Mr.
with
Pothole.
how
You made his day.
intelligence work with your intelligence network.
Oh, yeah, it's just like a network of us kobolds that just work together and relay information to all the other draconic ordinances in and throughout most of the Brasslands.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Would you happen to know, so the ship that these persons were on had a lot of cargo for House Tolliver.
Yeah.
And it seems as though there were perhaps a couple items that were stolen, or they perhaps took with them. Do you happen to know if there are any mercenary bands or anybody with a great vendetta against the House Tolliver, or any unsavory things that the House Tolliver might be involved in that might have people angered at them?
Oh, every House Tolliver got a lot of stuff that people are angry about before. the imports and exports, and so they can charge prices. They can raise the inflation rate. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. A barrel of oil is insane these days, you should say. But no, I mean, there's they got a lot of enemies, but no mercenaries wouldn't dare cross the line, especially if they put their reputation out there. You kind of keep your distance between the grey houses and the guilds. Make sure that there's no hinky business. Now, if these guys attacked an airship that was carrying Tolliver cargo, I mean, they were probably ahead of their minds, or not affiliated with anybody greatly well known.
So many words.
Have there been...
He's very eloquent.
Has there been anything recently, perhaps on a more minute level, that might have given someone a personal vendetta against House Tolliver? Like, maybe one of the gentlemen of the house got a bit frisky with a peasant's handmaid.
I have never thought to ask him questions about that.
He's not a tabloid. I mean, what are you... And if you told him your name, are you just going to ask him questions?
I told him prerequisitely that I was unsure how his intelligence network worked.
Let him speak. He sounds excited for something.
To be fair, I'm not we don't know. The Kobold Network doesn't really have the ins and outs of all of that.
He's not a damn pervert.
Watch.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to judge.
He's not a pervert. We're not saying you're either a pervert or you're not.
Right.
You don't want to catch
Watch, I'll show you how it works.
Thank you.
Hey, look, Pothole, can you find us information about, slightly burned pinky dudes running around this area, and maybe point us in the right direction?
They look like Kenny.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Thanks.
As you might not perhaps be in the know of
That's
everything
me.
going
Kenny
on
Rogers.
topside,
Right.
would
Hell yeah.
there be someone you would recommend who does keep track of that
That's my
information?
cousin, actually.
Maybe instead of a pothole, like an above ground something?
Like an above ground pothole.
Exactly.
Speed bump. She's talking about speed bump.
Oh, Speed Bump works down here too. I don't think he'd be much help.
The speed bump's more on the streets, but that's whatever.
You gotta get around him to get to where you need. You gotta slow down if you find Speed Bump.
Yeah.
Usually.
He typically slows down investigations.
Yeah, he's not much of a help. He's a bit slow. You know how it goes. Yeah. Love him to death, but terrible hindrance. Caught in a pickle. I've never been asked questions like this. Usually you guys just ask me where to go, and I'm like, here you go, here's the information, but I don't have any of this information readily at hand. Listen, I'll get you information on burned pinkies.
And
for information topside, I'd say you got. Well, I mean,
that was not. It was an example.
Listen, lady, do what you want. I mean, we use him for investigating. You use him for your kicks.
Just don't ask him to draw pictures.
No,
there's a lot of stuff.
Please, now, terrible draw.
It was not even the question. The question. It was of somebody who might have a personal vendetta against the House Tolliver that might not have expanded to the Mercenary Guild. It was not. I was not asking for a specific story. My lord.
For a defense.
This dropped accent there for a second.
Yeah, there's
like, let's be clear.
Methinks the tiefling doth protest too much. I used all my words for this campaign.
And with that, Seth can't talk anymore.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Pothole is. Look, if you want to talk to somebody topside, I suggest that you talk to, somebody who might know about your unmarked automatons, right? Because, somebody with unmarked automatons had to get them from somewhere. Maybe somebody who sells that type of stuff, or would know somebody who sells that type of stuff. That might be your best bet.
We're really plugged into the seedy underbelly of the city.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I am, but maybe there's somebody topside who might know somebody who deals with that.
Sounds like we might need to go speak with Crendon Billy.
Oh yeah, he's always trying to
recycle
reach people,
or upcycle and
that
network
are in need, and
whatever.
Help out those less fortunate.
I mean, I'm not one to judge, but I'll get you information on the pinkies. All right?
Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate it.
He
Do they even get
disappears.
Do they get paid?
No.
Okay.
He gets paid in friendship.
I mean, he gets paid the same way that like the rest of the military gets paid, with
And
like
then-
food and a little bit of like he has a
Yeah,
salary.
the kobold rats.
Maybe free education.
Kobold rats. They're not really good.
Okay, so you guys can.
That's what
So you're going to look for.
They're very smart.
You're going to look for the scrap guy, Cranon Bell.
Cranberry, the up/recycler.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. Well, you don't need to make an investigation check. You would know where he is here in the city. Over near where airships are usually constructed, over by what's called the Wind District, there is a area, mostly, again, much like the like olden time boat like docks where it was like you'd see all these skeletal shipyards. You can see these massive structures that are housing these tall boat-like airships. Some of them hovering in the air, others being designed or built. Over here in the Wind District, where most of the stuff's being built, you can see massive construction being done pretty much here day in and day out. Not a lot of residential stuff here, but near the far end, almost like in between the coast itself and the industrial shipyard, there are a couple of smaller buildings and establishments in about maybe a half-mile radius that all house materials, discarded things, discarded woods, metals, stuff like that, and they all come here to be recycled and refurbished or resold to anybody who needs it. Stuff that the that houses won't use. Yeah, it's a scrapyard. Stuff that houses won't use that the common folk might be able to use. But you do know that. Deep within this scrapyard, there resides one individual who knows a thing or two about metalworks, and that would be one Crandon Belly. Stepping into the scrapyard, you can see there are, humanoids of all shapes and sizes kind of working in throughout here. It's kind of a busy place. You're going, for the most part, unnoticed, except for your tall, creepy dude, who everyone's kind of like looking like side-eyed at. But you guys can see sitting over by a pile of large, looks like metallic wheels of some kind. There is almost like a
Hobgoblin.
There is a humanoid hobgoblin with ears, their orange ears kind of pointed back a little bit, dark hair kind of slicked back, wearing the usual worker's tunic with like a leather apron covering the front. Kind of a thin, almost like a goatee. Hobgoblins can't really grow facial hair, but this one is attempting to do so.
Hey, does his leather look like it's been intentionally marred for work, or does it look like it actually is used
There's
for work?
some intentional distresses, but
fair.
I mean, a lot of it, some of it is well worn. But you see them working over. They have this small, what looks to be kind of like an arcane blowtorch that's producing this small flame as they're seeming to try to like take pieces off of these large wheels. As you guys kind of walk over, do you guys?
Hey,
Yeah,
you the fellow we need to talk to. I think you are Automatons.
yeah, I'll talk to him. Hey, Grandin, it's
Man.
been a minute, but we've got a little something for you, mate.
As you call him, they turns off the torch. You watch as they kind of turn around, big old smiles, like, fellows. And steps down. It's good to see you. Puts both hands on your shoulders, just like, how are you?
Get fucked, Crandon.
PG-13, remember.
We get one per episode.
One case. That was it. You're done.
Worth it.
Get smacked, Grandin.
You might, we don't need the shoulder thing. Actually,
no.
That's all right.
Pass it over here.
you'd like, yeah, okay. Yep, if you could give him the shoulder thing.
Of
please.
course. They turn, put both hands in. And how are you, Zeph?
Now, when you
This guy
ask me
can
that, do you really want my response, or do you just
I
want
want
me
to know how Zeph is today.
This guy's creepy.
Really good, actually. I'm
Coming
kinda
from you,
feel
that
like
means
we
something.
might be on to something, a little different than we've been doing in the past few years since,
Absolutely.
everything happened. And
Of course.
I'm really looking forward to exploring. Wait, I used all my words earlier. I'm sorry.
No, mate, you're good. So here's the thing.
That's all right. Hey, I love that about you, all right? Don't you forget it.
I can't not hug him.
You
this
can,
point.
because here's the thing. Full
And
transparency.
I want your hug, Zeph. Come here. Come
Okay.
Here. As they big old...
I look at the rest of the group and like, this is every time. It's almost not worth
get
the
him?
information that we get from him.
And who are all of these fine individuals?
Okay, these are our friends. This is my friend over here.
My name's Kenneth. It's nice to meet
Kenneth.
you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Mm.
I am Crandon.
I've been told as much. All right.
And this right here, he's I don't know why I just went to your accent. I can't talk after you. It fucks me up.
Try again.
Oh, my name's Lucius Kane.
Lucian, where's your soul? I mean, how is your soul?
Where
My
is
name's
it?
Lucius, not Lucian.
It's Lucius, yeah. Lucian is a friend of mine.
Lucifer. I mean, Lucifer. Sorry, I just keep
It's
butchering
okay.
it. I'm just gonna keep coming with names. Sorry,
Lucian's in there
they
somewhere.
don't mispronounce your name. Sorry, Crandon is nothing but smart and can retain attentive. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing,
Very
nothing.
polite.
Very
Okay.
polite.
Almost obnoxiously polite.
Lucius.
Really
Yes.
well put together too.
Yeah, got a lot going for him.
Intentional.
I'm Ohiana.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the hottest hobgoblin you've ever seen.
I heard that you potentially have information, or that you might know things.
Well, I'm more than happy to help in any way I can.
We came across some automatons
Well, I
today.
guess she's steering the ship now.
Yes.
You weren't asking him questions, so
yeah,
I
you
figured
sure
I
as
might
hell
as well.
weren't helping
Well,
any.
here's
Hey,
the thing.
shit.
So
No,
we-
hey.
Peace, friends. Remember, this is a
Oh,
safe
you can
place.
catch these hands.
We came across these automatons today that were unmarked
No,
Oh my.
and
Never mind.
raggedly cobbled together.
Don't. We'll talk about it later.
Now, also I'm sure you heard of the ship explosion that happened earlier today.
I had. It was tragic news.
Yes.
Thank goodness no one was hurt.
The
There's a lot of people
I mean,
there.
there's a few.
I show him.
no.
I show him like the barely healed wound on my chest.
Yeah, I got a
Oh,
visit
my.
too.
Yeah, the bad guys died. Depending on
Yeah.
sorry, you would just call them guys. Guys died.
Stop.
So the majority of the cargo that was on the ship was destined for House Tolliver. And two of these men, these people that seem to be part of the causation of this ship explosion, we tracked them to they had run away. They left these two cloaks. Now, granted, they are not marked. We were perhaps wondering if... Well, I was perhaps wondering if you happen to know, obviously, as Tolliver being one of the great houses, they clearly have their fair share of enemies and whatnot, or people who are maybe not the greatest fans of them. Is there anyone that you know of that might have hired mercenaries, or perhaps who has a personal, like an individual, or perhaps a very small family, not a powerful family, that might have a personal vendetta against House Tolliver that might influence such an attack?
If there's somebody with such a vendetta as you describe, I don't know if anyone would know about it. The houses are well protected and well insulated. There's not much.
Crendon's more of an up/recycler than he is like a dirt getter. You can't keep asking everyone who's sleeping with everyone. Mate, I've got 3 automaton housings for you from some unmarked automatons.
There it is.
I'd like for you to take a
Wonderful.
look-see
I
and
will
tell me if
use
there's any
these for the-
distinguishing marks on these.
Distinguishing marks.
But if you do know any salacious stories, you can tell her.
Yeah, just
I'm-
I think the
regale
questions we
her.
should be asking is whether or not.
Was not to ask for salacious stories, simply to find information about the nature of House Tolliver.
Yeah.
And I love that for you. No, I don't have any stories of, people doing salacious things, especially of the great houses. They tend to keep their secrets. I do find it odd that somebody would target Tolliver cargo, being that they are the ones that do the most cargo. Tell me, was the ship damaged beyond repair? What happened with...
Yeah, it's pretty much useless.
Was it...
Can I do it?
Was it one of our ships, or was it...
It's a Tolliver ship. Here's the thing. Tasted the fire just on the air. Didn't lick flames. It didn't really taste like fire, so...
And if I dealt more with fire instead of reforging of these metals, as it were, I would...
Yeah, because you don't really use fire when you're forging.
Question.
God, I hate Credin so much.
What did Zeph notice about the condition of the boat? Because he did quite a lot of investigation of the area and even on it while it was burning. So was it irreparable, or was it?
You do know that it was damaged.
What did it look like? Yeah. Go ahead. I think
If you
he's
recall,
wondering, is the cargo the target or is the ship the target?
it's a good question. I will say this much, without you having to roll. You do remember, because I told this in the last episode, the boat seemed a bit more gilded than a cargo ship should be. So
Fancy.
a little more fancy.
Fancy, but carrying a lot of cargo.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And it definitely was. It indeed seemed to be a boat of House Tolliver.
Was it more
With a small blue chest.
armed, little like cannon? Or
Not that you
whatever?
could see. There was no obvious armaments on it, but it did seem a bit more gilded and more. I mean, more so than a cargo ship would be. But as Crandon begins to kind of inspect the housings, well, these seem a bit older.
Older?
Yes, they tend to modify the housings on automatons as the years go on to improve the ability to connect their magical essences to the sources. These are a bit of an older model, as it were.
How old would you say?
About a dozen years or so, by my count.
Would sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Would that be something that someone could, who perhaps was in the nature of tinkering, would that be something they would be able to fairly readily find? For anyone to kind of cobble them together, or would it happen to be...
Yeah, what she's
Is it
saying,
an
or
underground
is this like a
scavenger
pick
like
and
you?
pull situation where you can just go in and grab someplace, or
Not
is
really.
it hard to get a hold of?
Yes.
No, see, the interesting thing about automatons and the reconstruction of
They're
them is that...
obsolete models.
Yes, and if they are, most of the time they're sent to the foundry, and that's where they're destroyed or reconstituted. Most of the time, if an automaton is no longer used or cycled out of that timeline, they don't see, the public sphere, as it were. Again, automatons are not allowed to be privately owned. They have to be filed under the organizations that they are manufactured by. If somebody had these automatons, it means that they purchased them illegally, and that many. Was it three that they was?
From like a
It was a
scrap.
lot. It was
At
a
least
lot.
4.
At least 4.
And all
That
of
would
these
make-
are the same, correct?
Yes, well, they're all the same style, which means that they were all probably used or collected at the same time.
And would that mean that basically they were on a secure magical frequency that was separate from what's commonly in use?
I don't know much about the frequencies of them, but I do know that it has to be a magical source, whether constructed or cast by somebody. I don't know much about the magical side of it, mostly the mechanical side of it.
This sounds almost like how sometimes, when we don't want other people to understand us, we use like ancient draconic instead of draconic because it's obsolete, because no one else would be able to.
It's not entirely practical.
Right?
I mean, yeah, for what
It's
we do,
clumsy,
it's very
it
practical.
don't have all the right words, but
Exactly.
Would
You've
it
got to be very
be-
specific with how you speak Ancient Draconic. You can't be very aloof.
All right, well, enough of that history
Would it-
lesson.
I would say if somebody was able to collect 4 old automatons, that would cause quite a stir, even in the illegal markets.
Would perhaps
You're right, through the glass.
just stick with me here. Would it be possible, perhaps, for someone who currently works at the foundry, or maybe not currently, but at one point in time worked at the foundry? Would it be possible that they would be able to, perhaps each day or once a week or something, perhaps take one of the parts and stow it upon their clothing and smuggle it out that way?
It's called keystering.
I'm sorry, did you just swear at me?
No. It's how you sneak stuff in
I
those
don't-
circles.
It's entirely possible.
some call it cloacaing, but
Cloaking.
All right, I think you've had enough venting for one night. Get it? Vent? That's what a cloaca is.
Shut up.
I know it's possible. There was a good friend of mine years ago who worked at the foundry. His name was John Trapp.
John Trapp?
John Trapp. He was able to do that, but it didn't work out very well. It was he tried to build one and it failed miserably, unfortunately, because it was all the parts and they didn't all quite fit. They wrote a song about it. It's a long story. The point is that somebody who collects these or sells these is in the illegal market, which, to be honest,
Well, Crandon, you know somebody who's in the illegal market? Are you in the illegal market?
No.
Is he?
No, you don't
I'm
need
in
to
the
insult
I'm
that.
in the
Crandon's
business
called a
of
candy ace.
I'm in the business of what I call reviving what has been broken and destitute and making it something new. It's my own.
I'm gonna
kind of
hit you off
ministry.
at the pass here, Crandon. Is there anything else you'd have for us?
Wait. Do you think they're like... Are they collectors of old mechs, old automatons?
I assume there are people, but again, it would have to be somebody of great power because you can't even own memorabilia of the automatons.
What about the big house? Like they don't get no like, you know, a lot of people get left alone if they're in power and stuff. So maybe like the guys with all the automatons in their house, like House Aurelius or something.
Right, we know these guys are shifty. With your connections, would you have heard anything?
Not from the great houses. They're very well
unaffiliated,
guarded. Whoever did this bought them illegally and paid a pretty penny to do so. Again, illegal automatons are hard to come by, and 4 of them at once, I assume, is that causes quite a stir. My suggestion would be to, I can't suggest because I am a goody two-shoes who doesn't want to get in trouble. But if I were one of you,
A cool person.
sure, love that for you. I would suggest finding somebody discreetly who works within more of these illegal trades, see if they have information on recent purchases of automatons, connect that to a name, connect that name to whomever caused this, or is responsible at least.
You think somebody doing illegal shit is gonna let us come in there, shake him down, and ask him who bought what? I don't think they're keeping ledgers if it's illegal.
People in the city.
That was my suggestion to go talk to him hours ago, but whatever.
I know, but we.
Question: if we happen to go to the foundry
Aggressive much?
and ask them perhaps if they'd noticed any amount of items going missing recently, do you think is that the kind of thing they would keep records of?
It's possible, but I don't know if they're going to readily tell you that. And based on these housings you gave me, I doubt these items were stolen recently. They're well over 10 years old, and all of these parts have either been scrapped or, again, hoarded away by the trade in order to sell to one person or another. We're not the only ones who use automatons here in the Brasslands, unfortunately. Their use and their influence is spread far throughout the lands. Rumor has it even to Udal, but that's to be seen. But if you want my advice, I would start there. Somebody who knows how to sell these or knows the person who would. Again, automatons are expensive, especially illegal ones.
Crandon, thank you so much for your information.
And they, at this point, put both their arms on your shoulders and thank you for...
Immediately, like ice starts coming out of my skin and makes their hands very cold. Because...
They hold on. They grab your shoulders and they go, and thank you for the opportunity to improve your day anytime. And they take their hands off.
Before we go, what was the name of that guy you said who knew about these illegal things?
I don't know them personally.
Man, it was worth a try.
It was worth a try, you know?
Oh, thanks. Piss off.
Yep. Somehow this has been less miserable than usually discussions are. If those automaton parts are of any use to you, you may keep them.
Of course. Do I owe you? Would you like compensation
for
them?
do.
Tell you what. You can just owe us a favor.
Of course. I'm happy to help whenever I'm needed.
Nailed it.
He doesn't commit crime though. So.
Put that in my inventory. One Crandon favor. Can't wait to get a vegan chili recipe.
And tell Courtly that the dragon loaf was amazing last week.
I will be sure to let them know. Thank you.
Dragon loaf sounds like dragon poop.
It's actually not. It's a great combination of wild grains and grass seeds that you can combine into this hot confectionery.
With wild yeast that you collect.
Right.
Hold on.
By setting the dough in the window. What?
You mean to tell me no protein source other than presumably legumes were in that dragon loaf?
Yeah, there was no dragon in it at all.
God, I hate this guy so much.
The trick is to cut the top like a scale to make it look like a dragon, which is
all the
why
dragon
you.
loaves I've had before were just incredibly spicy.
I'm about to lose
so that it
my
made you feel like you were going to breathe out fire like a dragon.
Is one time.
Oh,
I got one Crandon
the
favor in
pepper
my
dragon.
inventory.
That is a
wait to
beautiful
cash
idea.
All right, okay, round up, let's go. I'm tired. Lucius is even looking a little hairy right now.
So perhaps it would.
Goodbye, friends, and remember.
Blink, for God's sake.
Goodbye, friends, and remember. You are loved.
God, I feel like I want to kill myself.
If we take Sir Crendon's advice, perhaps it would be wise for us to go talk to Dimitri. He is owed some favors by quite an assortment of people.
Well,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
It sounds like a slam dunk. I mean,
Why didn't someone suggest talking to him earlier?
Stop talking to him at the top of the
somebody
game.
had. Heaven
Would have
forbid.
saved us so much time.
We wouldn't have had to make an NPC of our friend.
I'm not the one who volunteered that name.
We did need to do that.
Traveling to
do
the
that.
other side of the town, it's going to take a while because you went more towards the shipyards, but heading to the other side of town, kind of skirting around the interior, you can make your way to kind of the more open fields that recede into the Brasslands itself. Out here, you can see there are small gatherings of like tents and other things where travelers who can't afford to stay in town, all kind of set themselves up on the outside of town. But this particular day, you can see that there are about 10 to 12 very ostentatious wagons with kind of these colored flags waving in the wind, all seeming to set up camp for a little bit of a rest. The circus that
I've never seen
Ohiana
nothing
was.
like it. Ohiana, this is where you're from? This is what you do?
This
Lucius?
is what I do.
What?
You do this thing too?
I don't really care for it. I only do it because Oihana's doing it, and Oihana's sometimes nice to me whenever she's not a butt.
Well, you are really complex.
Moving into the
It's beautiful.
moving into the camp itself, you can see there are a menagerie of different creatures and characters. Some of them almost as strange looking as
Kenneth is taking it in.
it is a sight to see. There are
3 arms. You ever seen something with 3 arms?
No, walk away.
That's
Walk
not
away
an
real
arm.
quick.
That's not an arm. Get.
I'm main attraction, Richard.
Richard the 3-armed man.
Told you it's not an arm. Don't say that.
What's that? He's an
Don't
investigator
forget his
too.
nickname.
Trying to remember the name for investigator.
no.
I am Private Richard the 3-armed man.
No. Stopping it
They dress him
right
up in a little
here.
military uniform.
No more.
I'm gonna look it in the eye.
He's a Cyclops. We should specify.
I don't want to. I'm stopping specifying. There's no more specifying. We're done specifying.
Can we talk about more?
We're done
things that
specifying.
are here? More weird creatures?
You guys can make your way to.
Yeah, we should walk away from this before it gets any hairier.
What appears to be about 2 wagons kind of set off to the main group with a large red and purple tent kind of set up with these beautiful kind of, again, flags just kind of waving in. Almost like a yurt in design with this large kind of like sweeping awning. It's the front of the tent has been opened almost halfway to where it's like the interior is mostly seen, and there's chairs and pillows and all kinds of like amazing just kind of like lounge.
like funnel cakes.
It's amazing in here. And inside you can see about 4 or 5 individuals all kind of off to one side drinking and having a great time, and reclining on this large kind of like plush seat you can see the genasi that well, none of you have seen him before, but you know him very well. The fire genasi, as he sits and holds this long pipe and is seeming to be regaled with a story by some other individuals who are all just kind of hanging out in the tent. But as you step into the tent, you can see Dimitri, the ringmaster, sees you. Oh, Yana, come, child. Lucius, good to see you as well.
They got corn-dipped tube steaks.
You brought friends, I see.
I did. I'm sure you heard about the incident down at the docks today.
What? Well, there's no incident. We were certainly not there when it happened. There's no way we were involved.
No, there's no ship exploding or anything like
Of
that.
course not, but I heard about
Meg,
it.
put your hands behind your back.
So, these are, some of us happened to be close-ish by when those things happened, and so these are some new companions. We have Zeph and Glyph, the scaly ones, and then this is Kenneth.
Nice to meet you. I ain't never seen anything. This is a real nice setup that you have here. I'm stunned.
Yeah, and to specify, Kenneth is the one without scales, since that's the only way we'll identify him.
Hey, I don't think you checked me over thoroughly enough to be able to say that, but you all right.
Well, damn it, you done checked Richard over thoroughly.
It was a fascinating sight to see, all right? I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Was that thing prehensile?
Shut up. He signed my autograph and everything.
If Richard had scales, he'd really need to see the doctor. That's not normal ever.
Dimitri, I think we gotta stop talking about Richard anyways.
Yes, he's a bit of a prick, isn't he? Sorry, I didn't use my right accent. He's a bit of a prick, isn't he? Yes, but no, of course. Oh yeah, friends of yours are friends of ours. You're welcome here to our humble abode for the time being.
And
we were just, unfortunately, we're not staying long. We are only in town for a few days to resupply before we head deeper in to Mecca City, where we will be performing for several nights. Perhaps you've heard of us, Dimitri's Circus.
I ain't never seen or heard nothing like it, but it is a sight to see.
Well, if you're ever in Mecca City, you should look us
Well,
up.
I'm right here right now. I'm looking you up
So
and down.
You don't have any performances here.
Not in the Copper Cove. Not enough of a crowd. Most of them day laborers go to sleep right when the sun goes down. It's very inconvenient for our type of entertainment. But it's alright. We do a bit here, a bit there, little side shows here in the town, make a little coin, resupply, and be on our way. But I am happy to know. And at this point, he gets very serious and like kind of takes Ohiana's hands in his own. I am very pleased that you are alright. When I heard there was an accident, I feared the worst. But you are a resilient one.
But you didn't check or nothing?
We take care of our people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I took care of.
Yeah, but they don't hover, and I respect that. You know, they're not too...
Hey,
Overbearing, as it were.
Yeah.
We assumed Ohiana would let us know if there was anything to worry about.
Oh, Hannah, is there
That
anything to
shows
worry
a
about?
deep amount of respect.
Not currently. Although, Dimitri, I know you've been traveling in the Brasslands for many years.
Of course.
Obviously, much longer than you and I have traveled together. And I know you. If you know nothing, it's you know people.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I believe that is an accurate description of how I live my life.
I wondered if I might ask you. We had heard recently that somebody had acquired 4 unmarked automatons.
I did hear these things, yes.
Do you know someone who you would talk to should somebody want to acquire those kind of things?
I'm playing it real cool.
You look over to your left and you see me, just like really close.
Blink.
Huh?
You gotta blink.
Your friends look thirsty. Perhaps a drink for you all? Yes.
Lucius?
Can I get
yeah.
one of them corn-covered tube steaks? I'm kind
You are
of...
welcome to whatever my tent offers.
But don't try to drink it. That's food. That's solid food.
Zephany, would you provide them? And
I
at
don't
this
think she
point,
has teeth.
this what seems to be a elven female kind of glides over, wearing just these long, flowing green kind of silks, and she just kind of extends her arms and kind of brings you all to where the rest of the individuals were drinking and having a good time. Brings you over some food and some drinks. So you guys are kind of over there having that. Leaving Ohiana next to Dimitri, who's just kind of like nodding and just kind of smiling. I will not lie to you, Ohiana.
Mm-hmm.
It does not serve me well to regale information of unseedy people to those I do not trust. Even to those I do trust. It jeopardizes my standings. So, if I were to know of such a person who would acquire automatons or sell illegal items, it would not bode well to have them tied back to me in any way. You understand this?
I do understand. And I know you are the person who taught me how to trade favors for information.
This is true.
Or the currency of a favor.
Very well.
You see, as we had been down by the docks and were subsequently attacked by both the automatons that were on the boat and some bandits.
Yes.
Or mercenaries, as whatever humanoids as you were. We were commissioned essentially by the port master to find the causation of this attack.
Interesting.
Of course, this is a more under the table type of assignment.
So secrecy is
Yes.
best.
So we're trying not to make too much of a ruckus, but
I
at the same
understand.
time, as previously mentioned, I know that you know people.
I do. I know people. I will do this one thing for you. I will tell you how to find somebody who has this information. On the condition that you make sure not to cause a fuss. Do not let my good standing with these individuals fall into disarray. Which means, well, first and foremost, don't kill them. And also, try not to make a lot of noise. It would serve us all well. You understand?
Absolutely.
Remember, our issues and with that person specifically is the issues with the client of them. So please keep that in mind before we, shoot them.
Hold on, just because
We're not stabbing them.
And
Is
also,
this
we're
just
not
a
there.
conversation
Yeah.
you're having with us.
He's literally telling you
What was
this.
Dude, that was kind of out of left field, but you're right. You're right to be thinking like that.
Oh, really? I did not know they were all by themselves. My
Great.
Yeah, he said. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
you
sent
guys
us
are
away.
all all having
I am
drink and-
looking at them and just getting vibes.
That's like the only reason Will or Michelle or I would have been silent for so long is that he literally let us not talk.
Bro, I've been zoning.
Don't. You're
it's
not
alright.
there.
Dimitri kind of puts his fingers together. The embers under his skin kind of crawling up and down as between the cracks as he thinks. I will do this one thing for you. Head to the market. Look for somebody who is selling tapestries. When you find this individual, they will offer to sell you something. You will ask them. You will ask them to see. You will ask them if they have a blue tapestry. A blue tapestry of a Nudon. They may have what you need.
Dimitri, as always, never let a girl down.
Darling, I never let anyone down.
Third time.
But enough of this troubling matter. I'm sure you have time to relax. Rest! Come, the day is drawing to an end, and we have plenty of revelry to go around. Your friends can sleep here tonight if need be. But ours is yours. Who knows? Maybe some of the acrobats are feeling spry tonight. Perhaps we put on the impromptu show for your unintroduced friends.
You know our acrobats always feel spry.
That is why I hired them. Come, friends, let us drink. As Dimitri kind of stands up, their cloak kind of blowing behind them as they make their way over towards you guys and begin to kind of revamp the energy around there as you guys begin to take a short-ish rest as
I got powdered sugar crumbles all down my front.
everywhere. As you guys can begin to enjoy yourselves and kind of pick up your feet after a day of some pretty intense stuff. So, but the evening is beginning to draw to an end. Again, if you would like to stay here the night, you're more than welcome. Or if you would like to disperse back into the city, you are more than welcome to do so as well.
This is the best place I've ever been in my life. Look, have you tried this stuff?
Yes, I
Are you
have.
gonna?
The tube steaks? Have you?
So are you gonna hang out here?
I'll hang out here
So you're
for
gonna hang out
damn
here
sure.
for the night? The boys?
Look at Ziff. I mean,
I bet you they got rats around here. I'm sorry, kobold rats. Mice?
And real rats, too.
Alright,
we can eat real food. I mean, it's just a matter of, like, if you when in Rome, you eat the Roman rats. It's
at
just
this point I'm blocking out just about anything they say about us that sounds racially motivated. So.
almost everything. Oh, these are the scaly boys.
Hey, listen.
They'll get over it. Eventually.
Sorry, listener, we just heard a very weird noise coming from the door.
This looks strange. Somebody forgot which apartment they live in or something.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Well,
I'm out there.
I mean, yeah, we could camp out, or we could go to the barracks. I mean, I definitely want to get some food and see some acrobats, but I just don't know about staying here all night.
Look at the sky. What about time is it, roughly?
I'd say the sun is dipped down. The sky is beginning to turn orange. It'll get dark here pretty soon. So.
Well, I mean, we've been given freedom's not the best word, but kind of journalistic privileges to kind of do what we want, suss out what we would like. I feel like we could just say this.
Are you looking for the term individual liberty?
Nail it.
All right.
We have the individual liberty. We could stay here if we feel like this is the hottest trail, as it were, which I believe
there's
it is.
no use in you having to meet back up with us later. That's just going to take more time. I'm ready to get gone. So.
It's fair, and knowing Zeph and I, we'd probably spend about 20 minutes of next Tuesday's session just gathering back with you guys. So yeah, we'll probably just bed down here now that we've...
What, do we just sleep on the pillows out here?
Oh, no, we have plenty of places for you to sleep. We have...
I mean, Richard's pitching a tent all by himself.
Damn it, man. You never escape Richard, man.
Right to jail.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Yeah, that's where it's gonna fade at that point with that statement right there. It's gonna fade out at that point. And that's where the podcast is gonna
Can
end.
you please leave in the... Damn it, man.
Thanks for listening to the Wild Magic School Bus. I hope you had as much fun listening as we did making this for you. You can catch new episodes each Monday on whatever podcasting platform you use. And while you're there, leave us a review if you want. It actually helps us out. We've got socials too. You can follow us on Reddit at r/WildMagicSchoolBus, send us a subtweet at WildMagicSchoolBusPod, or follow our Instagram at WildMagicPod. Either way, stop by and say hi. We're always happy to meet new friends. See you next time. I'm going to take from 4 till Hatched a few years ago and just splice that and make that just you confessing to be a lizard person years down the road.
Yes.
When you try to be like
Good
someone.
luck being a mega pastor,
Yep.
idiot.
You claimed you were a lizard.
Actually, you just have to pivot to a different audience.
Ooh,
There you go.
yeah. Church of the Flying
Good luck.
Spaghetti Monster.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's actually Glyph's patron.
Spaghetti. We love that.
You were a warlock.
Love good pasta.